Good morning and welcome to the Morning Connection. We are delighted to be with you this morning, live here in the Best 100 FM studios in Kingston, Jamaica. This is the Morning Connection with your hosts, Minette and Percival Palmer. I say a very, very cheerful good morning to Delroy Henry, who has already sent me 2 notes. One is very, very nice. He says, "Thank you for your entertainment each new day. Much appreciated." UK shout out. Jamaica shout out. Or Best FM shout out. Morning Connection shout out to Mr. Henry there in the UK, from which great things are going to come in a very short time. I can feel it. And good morning to those in studio, producer, Mr. Lloyd D, and of course, Pastor Percival, and Pastor Percival's tie. That requires its own greeting. Good morning, reindeer. Is Rudolph? You brought Rudolph?
I brought Rudolph.
I tell you,
Good morning.
I told you Rudolph was a fictitious,
Good morning.
fictional reindeer.
Good morning.
So you
Good
brought
morning.
Rudolph to
Good
show
morning.
me that Rudolph is real.
Good morning.
All right, sir. Evidence.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning to you. Good morning to those who are listening online, those who are in their cars and things. It is a good morning, and this has real sentimental values for me.
First gift from Michelle or from the kids?
No, from Danielle.
From first daughter.
From my daughter, yes. So she brought this, and I people say, "Why you keep it?" Remember I told you her birthday was on.
You're really gonna say people say why you keep it?
Yes. No,
Meaning
people.
it's
It's
a cute tie. No one should ask you why you keep it.
But it's a lot. It's a long.
You have to hold it. Those who can see us online and who might want to check it out at a subsequent date, just hold the tie properly so people can see.
See it there.
And never mind that it don't seem to bear any passing resemblance to the shirt he's wearing.
No,
if you look carefully at Rudolph,
you notice
he's red, and the shirt has some red plaid.
Some purple plaid.
Well, close enough. And blue
Yes.
is on the tie, and purple is made from blue and red.
Yes, but
There are many ways that I feel like there's a fashion show that would put that tie with this shirt that you're wearing. Somewhere there is. It's a trend. You could be doing something very
I'm not so
interesting
sure.
there.
But anyway, give thanks.
Yeah, I love it.
It's good to be alive.
Okay.
And cut.
It's the season of giving, and the SOS Children's Village is proudly celebrating 50 years in Jamaica. Yes, that's 50 strong years of relentless support to our nation's children. Do you have a heart to care for the less fortunate? Help us to continue to provide a safe home for the children. Donate to a worthy cause. Donate through our website at www.sos-jamaica.org or call us at 979-5850. That's 979-5850.
Half a tree, one and drive, half a tree. Bossy, how you do I take taxi star?
Chano, I want to tell you, say, 2 months now, my transmission mash up, and I check everybody and can't hear nothing positive.
Yeah, hear me? Yeah, waste all that time I shop around and never call the experts. Winters, autumn, have them. Them have over 35 years of experience and them diagnose your problem and get back your transmission brand new. With them service excellent and efficient. Trust me, man. Yeah, hear me? Call them at 929-7040 or go to them at 106 Maxfield Avenue, Kingston 13 and talk directly to the boss. Just tell them I'm me, send you.
You big star. Yeah, man, respect my boss.
Try and call him, because trust me.
What a relief.
What should a taxi service do for you? On-time taxi service is more than just a ride to the other side of town. They offer clean and spacious vehicles, reliable service, and promise to always look out for their customers. They'll come when you call and take you where you want to go on time.
We are something special on the road. for a better choice in all your electrical supplies. A, authorized 3M dealer and better brand names. B, better service including free island-wide delivery. C, all major credit and debit cards accepted. It's ABC Electrical Sales. Shop number 8, Hagley Park Plaza, Kingston 10. Open Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m., Saturday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. We make your electrical jobs as easy as ABC. Call 754-382-528 or fax 754-3659. ABC Electrical Sales, for a better choice.
Hey, what's up? It's your girl, Lady Lee, the Queen of the South, and I'm inviting you all to trailblaze with me on the best of the best radio station, the Best 100 FM, Mondays through Thursdays, 2 to 5 p.m. You can't afford to miss it on your airwaves. Yes, trailblaze with Lady Lee right here, Mondays to Thursdays, 2 to 5 p.m. on the best of the best, Best 100 FM. Mwah.
Best 100 FM is the authentic voice of Jamaica, promoting your prosperity with better vibes and better music. Let us promote your goods and services for you. Advertise with us. For more information, call our office at 876-276-8935. That's 276-8935.
It's good, it's better, but nothing beats.
Welcome back. Well, I can tell you that if you desire a video of Pastor Percival tying his favorite tie, it will be available on Netflix.
Yeah. That's what
I
we
made a
got.
video.
When I send it on
I made a
Netflix, it
video,
go
yeah.
around the world. But
Yeah, Netflix is on my mind these days because
they've lost money.
no, we are going to do, you and I remember we said we were going to look at the declarations that we do on Wednesday mornings.
Mhm.
And then we were going to do a little scan of public life and see where there are some inroads on those issues that we've been, we've been pressing. A big one for me comes out of declaration number 10,
Okay.
where we declared that men and women of princely or royal authority will be speaking boldly and acting with boldness to break that yoke of enslavement and confusion and withholding.
Print something there.
Netflix is carrying a series just recently released now on Prince Harry and his wife
Meghan.
speaking out about the atrocities of the royal family. Some of it, Meghan herself had a miscarriage because of the pressure and the stress and the racist utterances that was really, it seemed to have been a part of their daily life in the palace. Why they pulled away, the way the Queen grandmother herself was complicit in her silence, and all kinds of other things, which I think is it is going to have a domino effect. It has already begun. We saw that lady having to resign because she put some questions to a black woman who was a British citizen, and created some discomfort there. I myself felt that the questions were quite ordinary.
Yeah,
and that we would have put those questions too if we had come in contact with, a woman of her apparent look and ethnicity. We'd want to know which African country you come from. Lady says she's a British citizen. Doesn't quite answer the question. But so things are happening. I'm so happy for that. And then we saw the Prime Minister of the Netherlands itself rooted in dynasty, in a monarchical dynasty. Many people forget that they have king and queen sitting in the background.
Yeah, most of the countries.
So we see words are coming out. And in the meantime, the press for reparations is drawing some stronger voices. Mia Mottley in Barbados has actually done something practical. There's land in Barbados owned by a family that should spit out some reparations money,
Okay.
and she's making some moves. So that one caught my attention, and so the Netflix thing was in my head because I've not seen any of it, but I am not surprised. And when we started this declaration, we added that 10th declaration on the 21st of September 2022, urged by Patrick Howell, one of our listeners, who had put something on the chat to suggest that it was worth praying for those persons to move and condemn their own behavior in a way that would have impact. I said, you know what? Let's put some strength behind it with one of these declarations. And I think there are some things moving. Anyway, that was just me mouthing off on that issue. You and I are going to do something more concentrated looking at them. There are 10 declarations which Pastor Percival and I have been speaking since, I've forgotten which day in January, but it was early January.
What I'd love to do
Since
is
January.
a reflection on the year that was, in terms of the different things that unfolded, to watch and to see the hand of God in behind the scenes, that unseen hand that is still guiding his universe, his creation. It's kind of interesting that he gave us dominion over it and gave us some instructions. And with that, he doesn't intervene if we don't say, all right, Papa, Father, Creator, we need intervention in this one. And then he would release the host of heaven to come and fight on our behalf. That is how the supernatural just shifts things. It looks like it's impossible, and it seems like it is heading to a dramatic end that is not in favor of the parties involved. And then he intervenes, as he has done. I keep reminding us that he intervened in history. He put you'd call it a stop sign, an exclamation sign in history, and says, okay, I've heard your cries, I've understood. Now I've come down, not just to send somebody to say this is what my thinking on the matter is. I've come down through the person of my son to bring about a change. And whatever we might say, that inflection point in when Jesus came, salvation, that's what it meant. He came and he changed the course of history, the course of everything that was happening. And I continue to be so grateful in a macro, at the macro level, but even at the micro level in terms of his personal intervention in my own life. And he has what Mary said, what the angel Gabriel said to her, what is impossible with man becomes possible because God becomes a part of the equation.
Is this a stream of consciousness delivery you're doing?
A stream of consciousness delivery?
Mm-hmm.
What is that?
Where each idea just lead to another idea.
It could be, but I just...
Because you started off by saying there's something you were going to do. So I'm waiting to hear what it is. And
okay.
then...
No, a
and
stream
then
of consciousness.
Yeah, like,
that's
that's what it's called. Like you say, once you say the word Mary, then you're going to think about Jesus and the sacrifice of Jesus. Once you say the sacrifice of Jesus, you're going to think about the 12 disciples. Once you say the 12 disciples, you're going to think about maybe Peter.
No.
So I'm here looking and saying, all right.
Just inflection point in terms of God becoming flesh. Yeah. And even as we move towards the season,
we're in the season.
We are in the season. Move towards the culmination. Christmas Day. 4 days to Christmas.
Oh, I thought you were saying we're moving towards crucifixion.
Well,
that's what you say. So it's going on from birth, you move to purpose,
yeah,
and then you go home.
It speaks to the lamb that was slain before the foundation of the earth in terms of it. Yeah. But it.
So it's not stream of consciousness. So what is it you were gonna do? You can't leave me there now waiting to hear what you were going to do. You're going to examine something?
I was going to examine oops.
Yeah.
Examine. Oops. Oh,
You're gonna examine. Oops.
oops. What happened? But it just yesterday I shared in regards to
Reindeer.
the reindeer, and you says just go to the real life, and you kept speaking in regards to you remember the cartoon that your son watched. You remember?
Oh, the one that sat on the hair of the dog.
Right.
And I tried to, I asked him the name of it yesterday. He didn't even remember such a thing. And it's just so weird because he really loved it. He did not know what I was talking about. And it had left such a strong impression on me. But I guess, I'm older than he is. And I could understand. The moment I saw the cartoon, I knew what was going on from a more, kind of philosophical level.
Yes.
All of us living by the hair of a dog. I'm kidding. I'm in that kind of mood.
Yes. Yeah, but just that simple statement by Mary when she heard all of the things that would have happened through her, and she simply said, "Be it unto me according to the word that you have spoken." I'm just thrilled, amazed in terms of what God continues to do, how he continues to intervene in our lives when we look to him and ask him to intervene. He's not going to do it without us saying, I recognize that you are bigger. You're God. That's just, it just amazes me. And I continue to look, even my personal situation.
All right, so let me tie it to what we're doing here.
Yes.
I mentioned the declarations. We have 10 of them. These declarations are a deliberate invitation for God to intervene in some situations in Jamaica and in our personal life. I don't want to take away from what you were saying. Because sometimes, for me, when pastors begin to speak and it begins to go into the general matrix of things, I get lost because and I figure other people get lost too, in my quest, it really is not about a general understanding of the world.
It's
very personal.
It's very personal.
It's very personal. It is, how do I get the best out of my life through this relationship that I have with God? And I suspect that for most persons, that's what it is. But, pastors get generally excited about God. They're excited about God.
You don't get excited about God?
I get excited about God in my life,
So
God in my situation.
Yes.
So I have to understand how he works in mine. And then I can testify to you that, he did this for me. Ask him.
Yeah, that's what.
He'll do it for you.
But that is why the testimony is so very important to you. But for me, when I'm preaching general, but then I'm saying, no, how does it apply to you?
Yeah, well, you were preaching a little bit a while ago.
Way. No, but I'm sharing. I was getting there before you interviewed.
Yeah.
No, but the thing is, it was very personal and upfront with Mary. It was very personal and upfront.
I was thinking about Percy. Is it personal and upfront with Percy?
It is. That's why I'm saying the fact that there are a lot of things that happen. There are questions that I ask, and there are some things that I have watched for years.
What's the biggest thing that, as you said now, what's the biggest thing that you asked God and you saw it unfold to your satisfaction? Top of the list. All right, give me top 2. It's somewhere up in the top 10.
A daughter. And just how she's overcome.
Yes.
How she's overcome and she's thriving and she's doing her thing. And then there's a matter in terms of some funds that I needed to deal with a situation, and I didn't know where it was coming from. And then I left it. I wrote it in my journal, prayer request, and then I left it and forgot about it. And I added up all of what I needed. And then one day I go into my office and I see an envelope on my desk. And I said, what is this? Where this come from for our thing? But I opened it and I saw, we just want to say thank you for what you have done. So I saw 2 pieces of paper falling out of it. And I said, what is this? And it was a check. 2 checks that covered the amount of what
it closed the gap perfectly.
Right.
I would say hand of God. It's like when Lisa Gay was talking to us, and she said after she left the hospital, following that first suicide attempt,
and her son
who
said, never spoke,
in a complete sentence says, "Mommy, I love you." She heard the voice of God. She didn't hear her small child. Those are the things that I
and there are other things. Okay, even when we were, let me, you get me going.
I forgot to turn him off now. Let's see how much time we have.
No, we have a lot of time. Or another time when, for us as a young couple being in ministry, my wife said, I'm tired of living in a rented house. And I said, we don't have no money. So we did the normal thing with NHD.
Yes.
And they said, no, you don't qualify. She said, okay, we're going to buy land. I said, buy land with what? Seriously, never. All the monies that had been expended. And she looked and said, let's go look. And we were looking at these pieces of land. And she says, okay, this is the one. Invited some friends.
So this is Michelle now?
Yeah, Michelle.
Right, okay.
And we prayed, and Ingami says, okay, we needed the deposit. And then 2 persons says, oh, we heard you wanted to eat, and we got the deposit. So I said, how are we going to finish it? And then NHD facilitated the rest of it. So now we have this land, and we says, bill and own land. I said, oh, okay.
So did you qualified for bill on your own land?
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
And then, because this is like 20 odd years ago, and we're going, remember I told you I went to Australia?
Yes.
And for chaplaincy.
You went
the
down
Olympics.
under?
I went down under. And my second son was born. And I'm saying, okay, we're here, but we need to finish this house now. And it just started to move. The NHD thing started to move, and we're able to start building. And then the man said, done. NHD can't get no more money. I reach out to our friend and says, I think Michelle's supposed to be getting some retroactive
monies.
She's all right. She gave it, and I was able to move her in with peace of mind.
And Jonte arrived. Who arrived? Matthew. So who arrived in the new house? Oh, Jonte would have been born after that.
Yeah, so Matthew was just born, and so I left with a peace of mind to say, house finish. She's
family have shelter
and thing, and the hand of God. So I said to my friend afterwards, okay, that's that to repay you. She laughs. She looks at me and she laughs. So what are you laughing about? She said that was my gift to you.
That was a gift. So now, I mean, and I know there are many stories like that, and the skeptic might say, but you had worked and the retroactive money was built up and so on and so forth. But understand this, there are many people who work hard at things, put in the value, but it does not come out to them at the time when they need it for a specific purpose. I mean, there are even some who work, get their pay, and they're on their way home, and somebody thief it. They had worked, they had put in. So the point I want to make, following on your testimony, is that you can never take comfort in the belief that what you have is the product of your own hard work. Because there are many people who work hard and don't receive or even enjoy the benefits of their labor. If you want to understand how God is always working and giving and putting into a situation, then you must know that after you've done your bit, there is something else that brings it all together for the good of those who are working in a particular way in His kingdom. Typically, those who have difficulties that don't seem to end are those who don't do what Pastor and I were talking about here. You don't invite God into your circumstances,
which is very important. I remember a rebuke came to the children of Israel. It says, you don't see that you 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 are building. Why you not looking after my business? Why you not putting me first? And he says, you have all of this, but you don't see what is happening. You have your thing, and there are holes in your pocket.
You're putting your money into your pocket, and there are holes in it. Yeah, you plant crops, and they don't
come to fruition.
yield
Yes,
good fruit. And it's not, yesterday one of the listeners had put on the chat a scripture. I don't remember which one it was, but it is that scripture that says, I am God who creates light and darkness and, good times and disaster. And really he was trying to remind us that everything is in God, both the good and the things that, let's put it this way, I must say that both the good and the bad, the things that affect us adversely and the things that are a blessing to us, because there's a place in which things in and of themselves are neither good nor bad. They just are. The rain falls. It's a great blessing to one man who needed water. It is a flood and a disaster for another man who is homeless, living outside and couldn't. Yeah, it's the same rain. So it isn't that the event itself is either good or bad. The event itself is a blessing to those who see it as such, and it's a disaster to those whose circumstances couldn't deal with rain, can't handle rain. If your roof is leaking, you want sunshine and dry weather all the time. When you're secure in your house, you don't care which way it goes.
Well, it is about the principle which was seek ye first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, Matthew 6:33, and he add all the other things unto you. And in your seeking, you have placed your trust and confidence in walking according to the will and purpose of God's way of doing things. And some of the times his timing is not your timing, because he's connecting a lot of things, and he keeps asking us, will you trust my hand in the situation? Because some of the times
when you're
I'm impatient.
When you're really connected, you have no timing.
Yes.
Your timing is anytime you say is good enough for me. But it takes a lot of beating down flesh and ambition and imagination to get to the point where you no longer set a schedule. You just say, I move when you move.
My dear sister, that's why
my dear brother.
Mary said, beat according to...
Yes, beat unto me according to your will.
Yes, man. When you come to that place and on, I don't know we reach here, but it is really important for people.
We're doing stream of consciousness.
You call it stream?
Yeah, when one idea breeds another, and you forget where you started.
That's amazing. It continues to.
We're there because as we encourage others in these morning hours, it becomes necessary for individuals who are listening to be able to connect how God operates with what's happening in their life.
Yes.
Typically, we are anxious about the dissonance where it doesn't line up with the rhythm that we are playing. And understanding how to come into alignment. Now, remember, God is unchanging in his ways, so is you going to shift. But to build the confidence and to get the knowledge on how do I pull myself out of this lane that I'm in, which is not progressive and not yielding the fruit that I desire, and get in alignment with all this goodness and abundance of life, and the promises are yes and amen, and all the joy that you see people expressing on the other side. First, of course, you have to accept or believe that it's joy. Because I know I've looked at some very happy Christians and I know they're faking.
Oh, you know.
Because you see other things that you're in your own understanding of life. The 1 + 1 don't make 2. But sometimes I really don't know. I'm just telling myself that. So, because maybe I'm not prepared to do what they do, so I try to deny the reality of their expression. Like yesterday, Malvern said, I was denying Rusty the reality of his sword. I tried to tell him say it's a metaphysical sword, or that there's metaphor in there. But the point I'm making is you, in your, whatever your circumstances are, desiring a change, you are looking at options. Do I go left or right because you desire a change. So of course it begins with the desiring a change. So for you to desire change, you must recognize that your circumstances are not what's good for you. Either you're unemployed, or you're in the wrong job, or you're in the wrong relationship, or you don't have no relationship at all. Whatever it is, you're saying, this is not my place of happiness, my place of fulfillment. I'm complaining, I'm depressed, I'm whatever, however your unhappiness is showing, but I'm not content with where I am. And then when you look at the path for growth, and the path for growth is not it's not necessarily just a subjective analysis. There's some objectivity to it, because if you're in jail and you desire freedom, there's only one way to get it. Well, there are two ways. You could do a jailbreak, or you could learn what the systems are and say, okay, if I behave this way or that way, I could reduce the time, I could speed up. If there's room for me to appeal my case and be free because I have a good case. When you apply your mind to what is the logical, generally accepted way to move from imprisonment to freedom, then you begin to analyze how you could accomplish it based on either the money you have access to, your unique subjective circumstances now come into your contemplation. As you are making that assessment, you're going to look for role models around you. Well, who did it? What am I seeing out there that could be a reference point for me? And you might see a very cheerful Christian person talking about hope and so on. Then you're going to look at their life. That's why I tell you, every believer out there, just know somebody is looking at you to see whether or not what you profess makes sense.
And that is why this is where integrity, what you say is what you do, the way that you speak, to see it being manifested. One of the challenges that persons continue to have with us and with people who make certain declaration is that it's not matching up. And so for me, the real proof has been in what I'm declaring. That is what I'm doing. That is how I'm living. That is how I'm treating with people in every situation. And I tell you, you spoke about dying to the flesh. It is there, sister. It is there. It is. Oh,
we are there. It's 7 a.m. Time to take a break.
Yeah, but it.
You're simply the best. You're simply the best.
Best FM 100.5 on your dial. Keep listening.
A new departures retail area has officially been opened at the Sangster International Airport, SIA, in Montego Bay, St. James. The area will provide all new and renovated shopping facilities, including a brand new food court for tourists and other users of the airport. President of the Airports Authority of Jamaica, the AAJ, Audley Dietrich, says the new facilities put the SIA and Jamaica in a better position to take full advantage of the reviving tourist industry, particularly during the busy winter season ahead.
As we look forward to the post-COVID recovery of our aviation and tourism industry, we seize the opportunity to improve the facilities in preparation for the growth ahead. This, as usual, is a collaborative effort between the AAJ, the airport operators, and the wide cross-section of stakeholders in the aviation and tourism industry. Let us therefore look forward and plan together with the expectation to emerge better and stronger post-COVID-19.
Mr. Dietrich was speaking at the grand opening of the facility recently. Transport and Mining Minister Audley Shaw, who delivered the main address at the ceremony, echoed Dietrich's sentiments, noting that this is a pivotal time for the country's aviation industry. Despite the setbacks caused by the COVID-19 pandemic, Minister Shaw says Jamaica's recovery continues to outpace other territories. He further hailed the new departures retail area at the SIA as a welcome addition to the passenger experience. He says the area could easily remind a visitor of being in Miami, Milan, Times Square, New York, or Paris, France, adding that it is critical to the overall success of the SIA's ongoing program of upgrading at the airport. The initiative is expected to lead to substantial growth in non-aeronautical revenue for the airport.
It's not just the physical appearance that they're working on. They're also working on human development, developing our staff. Airport business development is at a pivotal point where persons no longer come only to get from one destination to another, but can enjoy a different shopping experience. This new addition brings the Sangster International Airport into a whole new league, and I'm excited to see the direction we are heading.
The minister also cited the October 6 Airports Council International World Report, which indicates that air travel should see a continued uptick in the second half of 2022, moving the industry closer to full recovery, which is still forecast for 2024. He noted that during the first 2 quarters of 2022, global passenger volume was 1.3 billion and 1.7 billion, representing 62% and 75.2% of 2017 levels, respectively. Minister Shaw notes that the government is committed to working with aviation stakeholders to ensure that Jamaica stays open for business and becomes a regional aviation hub and the pride of the Caribbean.
It is indeed an exciting time to be minister with responsibility for aviation, and we witness the growth and expansion of this integral sector. And I look forward to seeing those major plans unfold as we move Jamaica into a new era.
Among the other plans to get underway for the infrastructure upgrade project at the SIA is the expansion of the airport's runway at a cost of some $70 million.
Because we want to attract larger airplanes with more passengers to come right here into Jamaica. Jamaica, like Miami, can become a major entrepot point for the Caribbean, Central and South America. We must believe that.
The minister added that the infrastructure development project demonstrates the vision to bring Jamaica's aviation into the 21st century and beyond. Meanwhile, CEO of the MBJ Airports Limited, who operates the Sangster International Airport, Shane Monroe, says the MBJ remains committed to ensuring that the airport is recognized as a leading world facility while being uniquely Jamaican.
Sangster International Airport remains the gateway for tourism to Jamaica and the pearl of Montego Bay in terms of infrastructure development. MBJ has invested over $280 million in Sangster International Airport, and we continue to do so in spite of the pandemic, because of course we have to ensure that as passenger traffic recovers, we have the facilities to support an exceptional passenger experience.
And that's where we end this feature. Thank you as always for tuning in. I am Jeremy Nelson.
A production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.
Seniors, the Ministry of Labor and Social Security is advising that the November 2022 payment under the Social Pension Program is now available for collection. Check your text messages to confirm your payment arrangements. For further information, call 876-922-8007. The Social Pension Program, caring for our elderly. A message from the Ministry of Labor and Social Security, providing opportunity, stability, and social protection.
It's the season of giving, and the SOS Children's Village is proudly celebrating 50 years in Jamaica. Yes, that's 50 strong years of relentless support to our nation's children. Do you have a heart to care for the less fortunate? Help us to continue to provide a safe home for the children. Donate to a worthy cause. Donate through our website at www.sos-jamaica.org or call us at 979-5858 5850. That's 979-5850.
For a better choice in all your electrical supplies, A, authorized 3M dealer and better brand names. B, better service including free island-wide delivery. C, all major credit and debit cards accepted. It's ABC Electrical Sales. Shop number 8, Hagley Park Plaza, Kingston 10. Open Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m., Saturday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. We make your electrical jobs as easy as ABC. Call 754-3825-8 or fax 754-3659. ABC Electrical Sales, for a better choice.
Veteran Printers for all your printing needs. We specialize in calendars, flyers, brochures, and more. Call us today at 968-7506. That's 968-7506. Or visit us at 4 East Bloomsbury Road, off Hagley Park Road. Veteran Printers, your best choice in printing.
Half a tree, one and drive, half a tree. Bossy, how do I take taxi start?
Chano, I want to tell you, say, 2 months now, my transmission mash up, and I check everybody and can't hear nothing positive.
Yeah, hear me? Yeah, waste all that time I shop around and never call the experts. Winters Auto have them. Them have over 35 years of experience and them diagnose the problem and get back your transmission brand new. For them service excellent and efficient. Trust me, man. Yeah, hear me? Call them at 929-7040 or go to them at 106 Maxfield Avenue, Kingston 13 and talk directly to the boss. Just tell them I'm me, send you.
You big star. Yeah, man, respect my boss.
Try and call him, cause trust me.
What a relief.
Best 100 FM is the authentic voice of Jamaica, promoting your prosperity with better vibes and better music. Let us promote your goods and services for you. Advertise with us. For more information, call our office at 876-276-8935. That's 276-8935.
The Morning Connection is not your usual talk show. We aim to stimulate discussion and chart new paths to self-empowerment. So please join us, Minette and Percy, on The Morning Connection, Mondays to Thursdays, 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. on Best 100 FM.
It's good. It's better, but nothing beats.
Good morning and welcome back. We started off the morning with me bringing up something that Pastor and I had discussed some time ago, and it is this: for us to revisit the declarations that we've been speaking over the nation on Wednesday mornings for the last 12 months, and a few days shy of 12 months. But for the entire 2022 that we've been on air, we have been decreeing and declaring certain things. And I think it's worthwhile for us to take a look at how things have budged, shifted since that time. So that discussion has flowed very freely into a conversation about how individuals can seek to bring themselves in alignment with both the desires of their heart and the will of God for their lives. What works, the testimonies that we have, and Percy has quite a few. I have one or two myself.
You make it sound like it.
You have more than me.
That blessings are running me down and then not running you down.
Chasing after you.
They will run you down, my sister. And time, I tell people times and season. In Ecclesiastes, it speaks about there's a time and season for everything. And in terms of purpose and timing, one of the things that is so very fascinating is how God is able to restore some things in an instant. We hear of the story like with Joseph, where he went on how God restored him, and we see in terms of that widow. You remember that widow that we shared, and she had gone out and had to leave, and her son had been resurrected, but and the prophet
is the Shunammite woman?
The Shunammite woman, yeah, yes. And then she gone because of the famine, and she come back, and then they were like just going through all of the things that happened. And I don't know if it was whoever was reporting to the king in terms of that. I said, "What's the woman there?" And then he says, "See the lady there." And then she would come in to ask him for all of her
to get back her land.
Get back her land, and all of the things that had happened in it, in terms of, you'd call it it get back her land with profit.
With profit, mean profits.
Yeah, so that is timing, and that is how timing and purpose works in God.
So you say, I'm gonna get back what's mine with profit.
Yes, sister.
Prophesy, Pastor.
I believe that. I believe
it too.
I believe that in terms of restoration and how God's timing works in our life. Some of the times it tough and hard, you know. I can tell you that you're just waiting, wondering it's happening. And he says, "Oh, cast all your cares upon me, because I care about you." Or,
well, can I make one comment here?
Yes.
I had at a time in my life asked the Lord to give me the opportunity to have a testimony that could reach persons going through difficulties. At the time, I didn't know.
What you was asking him for?
No, I didn't know that. In order for you to testify to people going through difficulties, then you have to go through some tough
Tell me
ones.
about it, yes.
But here what happened now. I, having been anointed from an early age, just meaning that I felt God's presence and acknowledged the reality of him, and understood that there was a purpose for which I was destined. And that happened to me from age 10. And so I was walking with that knowledge through high school, through college, university, and I was walking with that knowledge for a while, but never really giving it a priority. And then I got to a point where I kind of said to him, I realize now that I was just being lazy, willful, whatever. And I said to him, give me some time. Let me live a little and be able to relate to persons in the time of service. Let me have the experience to relate to persons who really need ministry. I didn't understand that when I asked him for my freedom, that really I was asking for trouble, meaning give me the troubles of the world. So when persons who are going through those troubles come to me, I can truly say, I know what you mean. And, I think there are many of us who say there's time enough to focus on spirituality and growth in those areas, not realizing that when we defer it, we are opening ourselves to anything that can happen to anybody out there in the big bad world. I mean, you think that you're just saying, I'll get around to you later, but the consequence of making that call is that you're then out there, fend for yourself, being knocked about and so on. When you
were Job?
When you
like
submit yourself to the coverage, no, because Job never out there. Job never out there now. So can I tell you?
Move him hand of protection and see if you're for
No, you don't think you're asking for him, because his hand of protection is always there. What you're doing, you're saying, protect me while I go do whatever me want to do. That's really what you're doing. When you look at it, it's kind of like, it's like when even your child, you said, no, listen, if you go there, so that. And I said, no, mommy, but they're still expecting you to come pick them up.
I want to experience.
I want to experience it myself. But when it happens, they are still expecting you to come pick them up, to bind up the wounds, to provide the nourishing. And you know what? You do. Which I tell you, and I thank God that I had that understanding of things, that God would still do it for me, because I sat there bullface and said, give me some time, 2-3 years. may have taken a little bit more. But
bad.
but when it was time, well, you never really go. What you want to do is to not have that angel on your shoulder every day, 24/7, saying, "No, you can't speak like that. No, not tell him that. Go apologize." You just wanted to say, "Be quiet. You're on a break." And that's really what you wanted to know, because I am a very, very conscience-driven person. If my conscience said me that not right, I have to turn back and fix it. I have to.
So
I
you told him
wanted
to say
to be released from that compulsion to be always righteous in my behavior. I'm not like, why me? Me see people cuss off other ones for them bad behavior, but I am supposed to turn the other cheek? Are you crazy? I went through that. All of us got through it. Talk the truth, Percy. You never got through it.
True what?
That feeling, that pressure of the standard, the ideal to which you must live, or you hurt when you don't do it. I feel shame and sorrow when I behave below the standard that that God has set for me. It's painful for me. Painful. I'm telling you. I was in the bank the other day, and I'd gone to this bank, made a deposit. In the rush, I was doubtful that I would give them the account number accurately. So I just gave the lady the checkbook with the account number, and I gave her the cash. When I went to do the transaction for which I had made the deposit, the money was not in the account. So Lowell said to me, check the account number. Sure enough, when I check, on the paper, bold as brass, was a different person's name. This was about 5 o'clock in the afternoon. So I called and I explained to them. I said, I made a deposit. I see that it was erroneously put to the XY account. I don't want XY to see it and say, miracle money. I said, God, I thank you. I said, listen, can you please just flag it and then whatever you need to do.
Oh my God, Jesus, miracle money.
Miracle money. Oh, I have longed for miracle money. You know what the person decided. And then me in a problem to the bank.
Oh, geez.
Anyway, by 8 p.m., the branch called me and said, we have seen the error and we've corrected it.
Mm.
So I couldn't even figure out, but I think and a note had been put on the account. Okay. So I show up at the bank. I didn't even tell anybody how the mistake occurred. I just said it went to the wrong account. I show up at the bank another day, and before me is the very lady who had put my money in somebody else's account. I gave her a sum of money, which I had carefully counted and packaged it, and I was making a deposit. I put the figure that I put on the thing, she says, it's $5,000 short. And me stand up there and I say, me know me count that money. I had counted it like 10 times. Anyway, I give her $5,000 more, and then a spirit said to me, ask her to count it again. So I said, can you count it again for me? Because I was so sure. She immediately got a look on her face that said, woman, me never thief your money. You know yeah. And she says, for me to count it again, I would have to settle my entire, like she have to reconcile her cash or something like that. So even that no. So I said, oh, you've mixed it up with the other funds already? She said, yes. And she have a very mulish look, which just convinced me that she had made another mistake. Anyway, we continued the transaction. And in the course of it, I had to make a payment on 2 credit cards. Now, at the counter, they have a sign. It's a little bank that is actually in a supermarket. They have a sign that says each person, only 2 transactions. But me now, deposit some money and I'm paying 2 credit cards. So that's 3. She's moving along to do the 3rd. And then she says, not looking at me, you know that way. She's not giving me no eye contact. She just says, and for the future, it's only 2 transactions per person.
She smile.
Smile. Who should smile? Me?
Yes.
This is one of those moments when I put the angel in my pocket and I said, why are you telling me this? It only got worse from that point on. And then it to the point where she gave me something to sign, and she gave me the thing, and I even forgot the whole process with them. I took it up and I walk away, and she's yelling behind me, "You need to sign it. You need to sign it." And I say, "I'm signing nothing." Toss that over my shoulder too. By the time I reached like the door to leave, the angel had worked her way out of my pocket, was firmly back on my shoulder, and said, "Turn back and go sign it. She might lose her job."
yeah.
Lord, it's hilarious.
It's hilarious.
Anyway, I turn back. I've been gone to sign it to know what we still have spirit in of me. So I went, and by this time another person is standing by the counter. I went up anyway. I said, "May I have the document, please? I would not want you to lose your job over this." And I sign it. I was just going to do a debit note. Someone said, "Pardon me?" She's still a fight.
Lord, the two of them. And
She said, "Pardon me?"
the producer.
No, man, he's outside. He don't even know that things are going on in the back. I said, "Pardon me." She said, "I was just going to sign a debit note." So I said, "Well, you will lose your job over something else."
Oh, Jesus.
I'm a depart feeling.
Lord have mercy.
But the angel gave me a pat and said, "All right, at least you did." You're halfway there. But there are those days when, the standards are high. But before I digress into that shameful story.
No, it's not a shameful story. No,
I
it's
have to
not
go
shameful.
find a way to go back to the bank. I said, "No, listen, we did say other things to her too, I said, "This is a community bank." I said, "Is this the first bank to which is this the first branch to which you have been assigned?" Poor girl, she still answer me, because you know that the spirit is commanding. She says, "No." So I said, "Corporate bank, corporate location." She said, "Yes." So I said, "Well, this is a community bank, and in this bank, the level of courtesy is even a smile. You look at people." I mean, it's a young girl, and
But you never know what happened to her that morning, what she came through, why she was so
did not
surly.
care. She was standing in the position. She must do her job.
I hear what you say, but it's all right. I know that affects people a lot of the time.
I know.
So a
and
lot of the
many
time.
times, like you, when you go in and say to them, "You don't have to smile."
Yes, but I just smile, and I find that it helps people. But you related a very interesting interaction. And I'm grateful that the angel came back on your shoulder.
Fight our way out of a pocket.
Come back up and thing. Because the quality of our life is in our relationships and how we treat with people. My daughter and my children often hear me say, and it's a fight for me to have come to this position, because the way that you behave, and I can get that way if I need to.
Really?
Yes.
I'm kidding. I know you can.
But I just said, do unto others as you like them do unto yours, to you in the situation. And that is when we are getting real expression of what love is. You have said it. Put yourself in the other person's shoe. How would you want somebody?
So I do remember what I said to her after she'd notified me that for the future it's two transactions. And I said, "Why are you telling me?" She said, "It's the bank's policy." I said, "Yes, but I see people come here and do many things, and I don't see anyone reminding them of the bank's policy, which is on the wall. We can read it." And then, but she was like, "Well, I'm just telling you the bank's policy." Her passive-aggressive behavior provoked me into speaking truth to her. I said, "No, you're not just telling me the bank's policy. You are offended because I asked you to count the cash again. And you're thinking that I believe you stole money. I'm entitled to ask you to count it again because I felt sure I had got it right." No, it's just, I'm just telling you the banks. And I said, "No." And then on top of it, see your attitude. You're not looking at me, not even a smile. It's Christmas. Most people can give a smile.
Oh, and it's Christmas.
And it took off from there.
Oh, Lord.
But for me, and I started to tell you I share that story with you because I was asking you, haven't you ever felt the desire to be free from that compulsion to be always doing the right thing? And so a lot of us yield to that desire to be free from the
Doing
the
the right thing.
standard, and then we don't realize that freedom which we're coveting. That's why when the salvation story tells you that you're enslaved to something, and it's best that you secure your freedom from the bondage of the world and be enslaved to the way of God. It's Christ who was being put forward in that scripture. Be enslaved to that way, because in that way comes the real freedom that we crave. Because I do want to be free from, being trapped in whatever the world is pushing.
Mindset.
Yes. Look at what's on our front page. I want to share this with you before we take the break. On the front page, a family who have lost their 14-year-old son is saying, justice system let us down. The family are disappointed because the Court of Appeal, applying the principles of law that touch and concern this area, disagreed with the first ruling that said the man had to serve 31 years before he could be eligible for parole. And the Court of Appeal says no, and they took 11 years off it, so he can be out in something like 20. I mean, usually you don't get your first, you don't get out on the first, tick off the clock. But this family who suffered the loss of a child has put their hopes for some kind of release into what a court of law does. And a court of law, man's brand of justice, cannot give you the release that you need. It can't.
It helps to some point, but in terms of the release,
I don't even know that it helps. It only helps in terms of maintaining the rule of law. The justice we administer in our court is not about giving you the individual any particular thing one way or another, because if you were cut, it can't uncut you. If someone died, it can't restore life. And in this case where a child was murdered, what the people lost cannot be replaced.
That we agreed on.
Right. So when you begin to look to whatever man is doing up there for relief, you will experience disappointment. And that's because you are enslaved by the mindset, the systems, the institutions, the promises of a man-made system. Now, when you hear what the gentleman
man-made system
says,
has come out of what? What into your name?
Right,
what it has come out of?
So
we spoke about ritual and marriage.
So it is not about the existence of the system, because the system must exist.
True. All right.
And the system has its foundation in what it is that God has set through the delegation of authority to man to manage things in this realm.
True.
But how man manages it very much determines what you get from it.
True.
And even as God set us to run things, he has also said, please remember, you're doing it on my behalf. So if you can't do it my way, in accordance with how I've set things, it will not produce what you desire, what will truly satisfy you. So understand, I'm not knocking man for having a court. We need a court.
We're trying to do a thing.
Or we must have something in place. And the point I was making is that the system for the administration of justice, its primary function is not to give you and me what we need to make us whole, because it can't.
Okay, that point I agree on.
It is for the purpose of keeping society within, it's maintaining integrity in the society.
Correct.
So we say rule of law.
True.
It could be rule of God. It could be rule of king. It could be any other fundamental structure that is meant to hold things together. We say rule of law, meaning when the law is set in motion, people stand back and say the law is going to do what is right amongst all of us.
What has happened, though, it has been corrupted along the process, and it's time for the break.
Yeah.
Let me come back.
A difference you can hear, a difference you can feel.
Best FM 100 on your dial. Keep listening.
Seniors, the Ministry of Labor and Social Security is advising that the November 2022 payment under the Social Pension Program is now available for collection. Check your text messages to confirm your payment arrangements. For further information, call 876-922-8007. The Social Pension Program, caring for our elderly. A message from the Ministry of Labor and Social Security, providing opportunity, stability, and social protection.
For a better choice in all your electrical supplies, A, authorized 3M dealer and better brand names. B, better service including free island-wide delivery. C, all major credit and debit cards accepted. It's ABC Electrical Sales. Shop number 8, Hagley Park Plaza, Kingston 10. Open Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m., Saturday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. We make your electrical jobs as easy as ABC. Call 754-3825-8 or fax 754-3659. ABC Electrical Sales, for a better choice.
Well gone, Brit. How you look, sir?
I bought something online and I don't know how it's gonna reach to Jamaica.
Just use Triple E Express now. They must ship anything in a flash. You can use them credit cards and get loyalty points the more you shop.
Loyalty card? Because me ship with them?
Yeah, man, loyalty card. Whether you ship every now and again in a month or multiple times in a week, your loyalty is appreciated and rewarded.
Because me ship with them, yeah, I suffer real, I suffer true, but wait. Suppose me did it at my place and want ship something to mommy and daddy. That can do?
Definitely. Call Triple E Express Courier Services at 876-426-6067, 876-234-2043. Locations in Kingston, Manchester, St. Anne, and Trelawney. Remember, if you have a debit card, you can't use for them all. Kill two birds with one stone. Triple E Express Couriers. Get happiness in a flash.
That's it?
Half a tree, one and drive, half a tree. Bossy, how you do I take taxi star?
Chano, I want to tell you, say, 2 months now, my transmission mash up, and I check everybody and can't hear nothing positive.
Yeah, hear me? Yeah, waste all that time I shop around and never call the experts. Winters Auto have them. Them have over 35 years of experience and them diagnose your problem and get back your transmission brand new. For them service excellent and efficient. Trust me, man. Yeah, hear me? Call them at 929-7040. Or go to them at 106 Maxfield Avenue, Kingston 13 and talk directly to the boss. Just tell them I'm me, send you.
You big star. Yeah, man, respect my boss.
Try and call him, cause trust me.
What a relief.
Veteran Printers for all your printing needs. We specialize in calendars, flyers, brochures, and more. Call us today at 968-7506. That's 968-7506. Or visit us at 4 East Bloomsbury Road, off Hagley Park Road. Veteran Printers, your best choice in printing.
This is your beloved Pastor Percy from the Morning Connection. Support our commitment to Jamaica by joining us on Wednesday mornings at 7:30 when we pray for the nation. Show us you care. Advertise with us. For more information, call our offices at 876-276-8935.
The Morning Connection is not your usual talk show. We aim to stimulate discussion and chart new paths to self-empowerment. So please join us, Minette and Percy, on The Morning Connection, Mondays to Thursdays, 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. on Best 100 FM.
It's good. It's better, but nothing beats.
Welcome back. Even as we this morning continue to reflect on God's goodness to us. Some people say in the land of the living. Is there another place that you can go to but be in the land of the living? Because when you go after, there's nothing. But this morning we give God thanks for the simple truth that we are alive, we are in our right minds, we have our body functioning well. There are some people in recent times, their bodies are not functioning well, but we give God thanks for it. So this season, I know some people in recent times whose bodies are not functioning too well, and arthritis has kicked in on some. But we give God thanks for His goodness to us. I want to continuing the same theme that we've had in terms of the impossibilities, but more importantly, joy of the moment. So we're beginning with a Christmas carol this morning. Joy to the world, the Lord has come.
Joy to the world. The Lord is come. Let we sing. Lord, yeah. Joy to heaven and earth sing.
People walk in darkness will see a great light. Those who live in the dark land, the light will shine on them. your God will increase the nation. You will multiply their joy. They'll rejoice before you like the joy and jubilation of the harvest, as men rejoice when they divide the spoil of victory. For you will break the yoke of Jamaica's burden and the staff goad on their shoulders, the rod of their oppressor, as at the battle of Midian. For every boot of the marching warrior in the battle tumult and garment rolled in blood will be used for burning fuel for the fire. For unto us a child shall be born, to us a son shall be given, and the government shall be upon his shoulder, and his name shall be called Wonderful Counselor, Mighty God, Everlasting Father, Prince of Peace. There shall be no end to the increase of his government and of peace. He shall rule on the throne of David and over his kingdom, to establish it and to uphold it with justice and righteousness from that time forth and forevermore. The zeal of the Lord of hosts will accomplish it. So this morning we declare joy to the world, joy to Jamaica. We thank you that even in the season where there seems to be darkness overcoming the earth, we thank you that those who are sitting in darkness have seen the light and the revelation of God through the Christ child, who is no longer a Christ child, but indeed is Savior and Lord. And we thank you that in Him, the government will be upon his shoulder, and his name will be called Wonderful Counselor, Mighty God, Everlasting Father, the Prince of Peace. And even in this season, we declare peace over this nation of Jamaica, from Negril Point to Moran Point. From the east to the west, we declare the peace of God over this nation. And indeed, in this instance, we continue to break down and to destroy that the strongholds that exist in persons' minds are being broken down even now in the name of Jesus. We continue to declare that the strongholds over our nation of crime and violence are being destroyed. We declare over this nation the stronghold of corruption is being destroyed even now across this nation, in every nook and every cranny of this nation, from King's House to Poorhouse. We are declaring that indeed the government of God, the righteousness of God is coming in this nation, even as the light and the revelation of who God is, of his righteousness, of his justice, is going through every dark area. And we know that indeed the entrance of the light of God brings revelation and brings destruction to the works of darkness. We are celebrating that. We continue to declare that. And we are seeing, oh God, the cracks, the breaking, in terms of all of the things that people have declared cannot change. But we declare over this nation that indeed the new Jamaica is emerging out of the chaos, out of the destruction, out of the wickedness. We are declaring and continue to declare over this nation the righteous government of God will stand in this nation. The righteousness and the justice of God will stand in this nation. The truth and the mercy of God will stand in this nation, as revealed in Psalms 89 and verse 14. And we thank you that we are being reminded of this even at this time, even at Christmas time. And we ask that increase of love, of peace in this nation. And we say, Lord, as the entrance of your word brings lights to individual and remove the stronghold, remove the darkness, we thank you for what is happening in our families. Fathers' hearts are being turned back to the children, that indeed our family structures are being restored in this nation. And we thank you with the restoration of the family structures of strong families, that communities indeed are becoming stronger. And with those bedrock, we have a stronger nation. And we continue to say, visit the 63, visit the 21 in the houses of parliament. Let them be troubled until your peace, your wisdom rules in their minds even now. And as we've been saying, and we continue to declare over this nation, this is what we see breaking forth as a new dawn. Even as we come to the end of this year, we declare these things over our nation, and we thank you that you begin and are continuing to answer our prayers even now.
We decree and declare that no longer shall the princes of the land abuse and oppress the people. Let the ties that bind us be unbreakable bonds of love, respect, and equity. We decree and declare a time of freedom, empowerment, and prosperity for the people, a season of outstanding achievement. We decree and declare that the administration of justice in every sphere of life shall be freed from the limitations of cynical and unbelieving men and women, and that justice shall indeed flow like living waters from the throne of God into the bellies of every man and woman. We decree and declare that every Jamaican man, woman, child shall increase in knowledge of self and of the one true God, such that the divine creative power to prosper and excel shall be unlocked in this generation and generations to come. We decree and declare that the hearts of our leaders and their bowels of compassion be opened to hear the cry of the people and to respond with love, generosity, and respect. We decree and declare that the ordinary men and women in communities across this land will become families that work together in harmony to assure the well-being of all members, giving special care to our children, our elders, our women, and those with disabilities of any kind. We decree and declare that starting today, men and women across this nation shall arise and return to the place of abundance in humility and repentance to reclaim their identity and bring prosperity to their communities. We decree and declare that all citizens be filled with the spirit of shameless audacity, such that we shall persistently seek out the goodness and the blessings that are ours, ask for and secure the benefits of nationhood, knock on every door that should be open to us, and take charge of our destiny. We decree and declare that this nation will move as one in submission to the sovereign will of God, so that the world may see your power and greatness, and you will be glorified. We decree and declare that all men and women of princely or royal authority shall now speak and act with boldness to secure the release of your people in obedience to the urgings of the Holy Spirit and for the fulfillment of prophecy as said in Isaiah 51 verse 11, those the Lord has rescued will return. They will enter Zion with singing. Everlasting joy will crown their heads. Gladness and joy will overtake them, and sorrow and sighing will flee away.
And we continue to declare that indeed this King that has come, that he's establishing the kingdom of God over this nation, an invisible kingdom, but it's a kingdom that manifests itself in terms of our relationships with each other. relationships that are rooted in the love of God and the love of neighbor. That indeed, as it is established, and we see the manifestation, the outworkings of it, that indeed it will be established and upheld with justice and righteousness. From that time forth, from when he has come, and forevermore, we thank you that the zeal of the Lord of hosts will establish and accomplish it. Because indeed no man can stand against the power of God at work in our hearts and in our nations. We're expecting that even now.
Right here, repression. It's playing now unfolding. The time of your great blessing. Come on. Nothing but victory. That's the promise of our King. To do exceedingly, abundantly, above what you ask or think. Put it in the house. Put your hands on it, y'all. Come on, y'all. Expect. Anybody expecting great things? Come on, say expecting great. Come on, everybody say expect. I can't hear you say it, y'all. Come on, lift it up, expecting great. Thank you, refreshing. His plan, say it. The time of your great blessing. Expect nothing but victory. That's the promise of our King. You do exceedingly, y'all. Above what you ask for me. Sing it real good. I wish y'all could put your hands on it and say it. Come on, everybody, lift it up, say it. In your finances, expect the great. In your relationship, expect the great. On your job, in your home, expect. Come on, everybody, say expect. Say anticipate. This is your year. Win. Somebody say, wave your hand if you know the blessing is on you. You do more than say. Win, win. Look at the neighborhood while you're sitting at home.
The blessing is upon you, because it is indeed my will for you, even in your situation, according to Jeremiah 29:11, to give you a hope and a future. Blessings, not for destruction. I'm paraphrasing now. And I ask you in the season to receive the gift of the Son of God into your life, into your own existence, into your situation. Remember, he has come to establish the throne of God, which is righteousness, justice, mercy, and truth. And the cry of many of us in Jamaica, we want justice. But justice begins with righteousness, right living. And so we make that declaration and continue to declare that the real change begins with us as individuals recognizing who God is and having fear of God in our lives. And then he commands us to love our neighbor as ourselves. And we indeed are seeing the springs, the shoots of change in our nation. And we give God thanks that indeed he continues to respond to our prayers. He's not a God who is deaf and hard of hearing, but he's responding, but he's doing it according to his time, his purpose, his timing.
You're inviting me in.
I'm inviting you in. We are together in us.
So, thank you as always for leading this segment. And it is always my wish that it is beneficial to those who, those who have the ear to hear it.
Yeah.
Much can be said about prayer. When we started these declarations, I positioned it as resolutions.
Mm-hmm.
This is what we do at the start of each new year. We look at the year, we look back and say, what should we have done, didn't do? How can we set a foundation to do better? And we decree, resolve
and
that these
okay.
areas require some intentional work. I look at the justice is at the foundation of all the issues that affect our contentment. If we, you know the basic things that we need to survive, we need housing, we need food, we need education, health, and so on. And as we look at how these goods and services are distributed amongst the population, we are looking for fairness, we're looking for justice.
And that is the heart of God.
And that is the heart of God. All right, let's take our break. When we come back, we're going to open the lines, the numbers to call. Please remember them: 619-1508 and 279-8473. This is the Morning Connection, entering the second leg of the journey this morning. We're going to interact with you after the break. Please stay with us.
Best FM 100.5 on your dial. Keep listening.
Hello, I'm Neil Nunes with the BBC News. Taliban guards in Afghanistan have prevented hundreds of young women from entering university campuses a day after they suspended higher education for female students. A religious scholar told the BBC they had also been asked by the Afghan rulers to ban prepubescent girls from attending Islamic schools or madrasas. Here's our South Asia editor, Anbarasan Etirajan.
Videos on social media showed female students dressed in hijabs standing near their colleges, hugging and consoling each other. One student said, "We are doomed and we have lost everything." A group of women held a protest outside one university compound, but Taliban guards forced them to leave and took away their mobile phones. The United Nations and several countries, including the United States, have condemned the Taliban's latest actions. The ban could further hinder the Taliban's attempts to gain international recognition.
The Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky is traveling to Washington on his first trip abroad since the Russian invasion in February. The White House said the visit would underscore the U.S. commitment to supporting Ukraine for as long as it takes. Mr. Zelensky said that he would meet President Biden and address Congress, and that his visit would strengthen Ukraine's defense capabilities, a move condemned by a Kremlin spokesman, Dmitry Peskov.
Arms supplies continue. The range of weapons supplied is increasing. All this, of course, leads to an aggravation of the conflict, and in fact does not bode well for Ukraine.
The White House earlier said the U.S. and Ukrainian leaders would announce a significant new package of security assistance. The UN Security Council has eased a weapons embargo on the Democratic Republic of Congo in a move which could help the army to fight rebel groups. Richard Kagoe has more.
The lifting of the restrictions is a boost to DR Congo's efforts to restore order in the conflict-stricken east of the country. The resolution presented by France was voted for unanimously by Council members. The decision means that member states can now sell arms and offer military support to the Congolese army without notifying the Security Council, although the purchase of weapons by individuals remains banned. This was a measure that was imposed at the end of the country's last civil war, which left millions dead. Its lifting comes at a time when the country is battling many insurgent groups.
Government ministers in Britain have urged the public to take extra care and avoid unnecessary car journeys on a day when thousands of ambulance workers have gone on strike over pay. Unions representing ambulance and medical workers are demanding pay increases above the current high inflation rate. The government is resisting. This is the latest world news from the BBC. Israel's Prime Minister-designate Benjamin Netanyahu has only hours left to announce a new government, which could be the most far-right ever in Israel. He's been locked in talks with leaders of ultranationalist and religious parties. These parties advocate policies such as expanding Jewish settlements in the Israeli-occupied West Bank. China reported not a single death from COVID in the entire country on Wednesday, despite mounting evidence of a surge in infections. With more, here's our Asia-Pacific editor, Michael Bristow.
Hospitals, pharmacies and crematoriums all say they're busier than usual, but the latest daily figures record not even one COVID death. In fact, the official total went down by one, after the authorities decided a case already counted wasn't COVID after all. But China has changed the way it counts deaths from COVID. Only infected people who die from respiratory illnesses will be included, not those who have other underlying conditions. As the pandemic worsens in China, it means the official narrative and reality will increasingly diverge.
The families of the young people killed in a Halloween crowd crush in South Korea have demanded that the government acknowledge responsibility for failing to protect their children. Bereaved family members told a news conference in Seoul they had suffered pain and anger because the authorities had not taken responsibility. They demanded an apology from the president. The singer Bob Dylan has been offered a part in Britain's longest-running television soap opera. Coronation Street focuses on the lives of ordinary people in the fictional northern English town of Weatherfield, and Bob Dylan recently revealed he's a dedicated viewer. The Coronation Street producer said they would love to have him appear in one of the episodes. BBC World News.
Seniors, the Ministry of Labor and Social Security is advising that the November 2022 payment under the Social Pension Program is now available for collection. Check your text messages to confirm your payment arrangements. For further information, call 876-922-8007. The Social Pension Program, caring for our elderly. A message from the Ministry of Labor and Social Security, providing opportunity, stability, and social protection.
It's the season of giving, and the SOS Children's Village is proudly celebrating 50 years in Jamaica. Yes, that's 50 strong years of relentless support to our nation's children. Do you have a heart to care for the less fortunate? Help us to continue to provide a safe home for the children. Donate to a worthy cause. Donate through our website at www.sos-jamaica.org or call us at 979-5850. That's 979-5850.
For discussions on health and education, inspiring interviews, surprise giveaways, your favorite songs, tune in to Best 100 FM this and every Sunday at 11:30 to 12 noon. It's Distinction 411, your weekly college magazine program, hosted by James and the Distinction family. Catch you on Sunday.
For a better choice in all your electrical supplies, A, authorized 3M dealer and better brand names. B, better service including free island-wide delivery. C, all major credit and debit cards accepted. It's ABC Electrical Sales. Shop number 8, Hagley Park Plaza, Kingston 10. Open Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m., Saturday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. We make your electrical jobs as easy as ABC. Call 754-382-528 or fax 754-3659. ABC Electrical Sales, for a better choice.
Hey, what's up? It's your girl, Lady Lee, the Queen of the South, and I'm inviting you all to trailblaze with me on the best of the best radio station, the Best 100 FM, Mondays through Thursdays, 2 to 5 p.m. You can't afford to miss it on your airwaves. Yes, trailblaze with Lady Lee right here, Mondays to Thursdays, 2 to 5 p.m. on the best of the best, Best 100 FM. Mwah.
Half a tree, one and drive, half a tree. Bossy, how you do I take taxi start?
Chano, I want to tell you, say, 2 months now, my transmission mash up, and me check everybody and can't hear nothing positive.
Yeah, hear me? Yeah, waste all that time I shop around and never call the experts. Winters Auto have them. Them have over 35 years of experience and them diagnose your problem and get back your transmission brand new. For them service excellent and efficient. Trust me, man. Yeah, hear me? Call them at 929-7040 or go to them at 106 Maxfield Avenue, Kingston 13 and talk directly to the boss. Just tell them I'm me, send you.
You big star. Yeah, man. Respect my boss.
Try to call him, guys. Trust me.
What a relief.
What should a taxi service do for you? On-Time Taxi Service is more than just a ride to the other side of town. They offer clean and spacious vehicles, reliable service, and promise to always look out for their customers. They'll come when you call and take you where you want to go on time.
Call us at 926-3866.
We are something special on the road.
This is your beloved Pastor Percy from the Morning Connection. Support our commitment to Jamaica by joining us on Wednesday mornings at 7:30 when we pray for the nation. Show us you care. Advertise with us. For more information, call our offices at 876-276-8935.
The Morning Connection is not your usual talk show. We aim to stimulate discussion and chart new paths to self-empowerment. So please join us, Minette and Percy, on The Morning Connection, Mondays to Thursdays, 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. on Best 100 FM.
It's good. It's better, but nothing beats. Yes.
Welcome back. The lines are open. Please give us a call. What were we talking about, Percy? It felt like there was something that we could share. Oh no, we're
The
not going to talk
justice system,
about.
let
Yeah,
us
we're
go
talking
on,
about the justice system.
but the bumpy start to Christmas payout rollouts. Remember, they'd asked to put it back later because they want to do the ramifications, and some people have not been paid as yet.
Well, I don't want to touch that one. You know why? There's sympathy to be had all around, and I think when you are so reliant on technology to get your payroll done right and to get it done accurately, technology as one of the gods of the day is very unreliable.
Okay.
I feel sympathy for both the government and for the staff who are being inconvenienced. Bear in mind, that the same people who are run the system, their pay going to be late too.
That's true. Although yesterday.
Yeah, it's not a situation of anybody trying to be oppressive or trying to penalize them for taking too long to do this or that. It is that it's gonna take some time. Maybe they'll just pay them based on the old.
No, I
and
because
then make the adjustments for January.
relating to some people, an organization that I do. So I call them and say, they're not paying the people. Them say, boy, for the way I work out this thing, that takes so much. They're working night and day. So they finally got it done. And I'm saying, wow, because I think there's a bit of disquiet in regards to within the ranks in terms of the level of movement that some people have had and the level of non-movement that some people have had. So the government has been trying to do what I call a good public relations. So we'll see how it settles itself out come January. As the lines are open, 876-619-1508 and 876-279-8473. Yesterday we commented on the Dutch slavery because we were talking about what was the name of the ship? The Zogo?
Zong.
So it sounded like Zogo.
No, it was called the Zorg, and it was renamed the Zong when it was purchased by
the English people.
New owners.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it had a different name. What brought it to mind is that I'm seeing there. Oh, we have a caller on the line. Good morning and welcome to the Morning Connection.
Good morning, Miss Lawrence. Good morning, Mr. Palmer.
Good morning, my friend. 2 days in a row. That's good, man. How you doing? How is Saint Bess in terms of the
so the pagan holidays here, man. I can call 2 days in a row. Man. Yeah, man. For real, I heard your guest Monday. Was she serious with her story?
Yes, that is our story.
That is our story, my brother.
Yeah, that's a very serious story. I wanna send her some love. Yeah, I understand because, like, in my area, you got two people right now that's gonna bury the eighth that killed themselves. One with a rope and one with something else.
Oh.
Yeah, and they wow. Yeah, so
were those persons known to you, or you only heard about them after they died?
I heard about them,
Okay.
but they around in the area though, but I stay to myself, so I don't really know nobody, and so I'm a stranger, you know what I mean?
Still,
I don't really know them, but people know them, and
Yeah.
But it's a sad story. But a person like me, who's been through so much tragedy, I can't understand how people. But I can get it because several times I contemplated suicide, but never carried out the act. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But contemplated it. Been in situations where, man, it seems like that's the only way out. You know what I mean? So I sympathize with them peoples, man. But I'm just begging my people to stay strong. You know what I mean?
Yeah, please. Yeah.
Can you share a little of what kept you from going further than contemplating it?
Well, I guess straight up, I can't really explain just the higher power. I don't even know how I survive in life. It's just something just keeps pulling me, and I don't really know what. I've been in situations I don't know how the heck I get out, Miss Lawrence. Trust me. I don't know how I survived some of. Looking back over my life, wow. I wonder how I'm here talking to you guys on the phone. I appreciate it, though. I really, really do appreciate it, but been in situations, man, ask me how I got out of it. I really and truly don't know. Straight up. You know what I mean? But, love listening to you guys. I'm here listening. Bless up, respect, love, and manners. And what's his economics? What's his name? Mr. What's his name? Economics. Never Carter. Big up, Never Carter. And that Miss Love, Lady Love. Big up, Miss Love.
All right. Well, I know they're listening. Well, I hope they're listening. And in any event, I appreciate the fact that you're thinking about others and sharing love. So that in itself is a blessing.
I gotta think about my peoples, yo. Come on, yo. I'm not the only one going through struggles, yo. I've been through struggles, yo. Come on. And what I'm going through is nothing compared to what some of my mothers and brothers and fathers been through. I love y'all. Bless up, bless up.
Bless up, Franco. Thank you so much for the call.
You know, as the year comes to an end, this thing of mental health is a serious thing, you know. It is a serious thing that a lot of people and say it is a major thing because, as I keep saying, what the lockdowns did, especially for our children, our adolescents, our preteens, serious. And we're just completing a simple study, some focus groups we have done, and across a couple of schools, and the young people said, man, this thing had us going. And they clearly said we were depressed. Being away from our friends, the interaction and so on really affected us. But then, as Franco says, they were resilient. They bounced back from the adversity of what happened to them. And I lift my hat, but we have to deal with it. There are ways. We have to be more open. We have to allow for people to speak about it more, because you spoke about testimony in terms of your own self, and I was sharing some of my personal. Being able to share about something says that it's not me alone. So I'm not alone in this, and so we can help one another. Again, the lines are open for you to call 876-619-1508, 876-279-8473. And you know what happens at Christmas times too? They found that people become more depressed if they're not with families, they're by themselves and so on. So we're glad for family. It helps us in the circumstance and situation. And big up to Franco.
You know, when he said that he's been through some stuff, he don't really know how he got through it. That had me thinking. That provoked that thought process in me. Good morning and welcome.
Yes, good morning.
Good morning.
Christmas. How is it that Christmas, which is supposed to be one of the most beloved moments in the memory of mankind, how does it bring depression and suicide? How is that possible?
The people said, that's something that I don't understand, but people...
No, I understand it.
Yeah,
I understand it.
Family time.
Yeah, usually that when the evidence of other persons, either family, ability to buy goods because there's a certain amount of consumerism on display at Christmas time that is hard to miss. And if you are already vulnerable to thoughts of suicide, or if you are missing family, you're in a different country, you got divorced, somebody had died, and you're alone, and you are seeing all that others have that you don't. A person who is not well settled in their own, understanding of things, their minds will go there, and then it happens. Just the same way winter is also a time in countries that get extreme weather. Winter is a time for depression and suicide too, because you're locked in a lot. You're alone with your thoughts. Not all of us have thoughts that uplift us. Some people have thoughts that draw them into a dark place, and it really does happen, and it's been studied for a while, and it's true.
I have never experienced the emotion of suicide. Never experienced that emotion. But I know in myself that such an act is a final act, and it will lead me to hell. I don't want to go to hell. So because I know such an act is the end of any happiness.
The possibility, even the possibility of anything. Yeah.
Yes. So that deters me.
So now you are amongst those who have the firm foundation on which you can continue to live. But some don't. Some say, I'm worthless, nobody loves me, you're in the world, it's going to be suffering, there's pain, death is nothing, the end of all things. I'd rather...
That's unfortunate.
Yeah. Oh, it's very
don't
sad.
Understand that there's more after this.
I tell you, it's heartbreakingly sad. Heartbreaking. And sometimes when you hear it in a person's voice and their story, and you're trying to share with them that there is more and they can't see it, that is even very sad. Yeah.
You see how important the foundation of one's understanding is?
Yes, it's very important, Malvern.
Yeah.
Very, very important.
You have to get the understanding from as early as possible.
Yeah.
Yes, and that is why
early as possible.
Early as possible.
Especially for the children in the womb. Yeah, man.
Yeah, because we will be bombarded with a lot of ideas.
Every day.
As time goes on in life.
Every day. Everywhere you go. Every time. And we can't guarantee that people won't have tribulations. We can only guarantee that they will. And when you hit a hard spot, and you it's like there's no path, no perfect path that anybody can take, because if you protect your child, just assume then we're talking about children. If you try to protect them from the realities, certain realities, when they're left on their own and they have to face it, they can't deal with it. If you shove them out there in the world too early, they can't deal with that either. So it does require relationship on a day-to-day, ongoing basis with people for you to actually find a happy medium. If you become a hermit, then the isolation and it might be your undoing.
Yeah, so
if you're out there all the time and you're too sociable, when you go home you can't handle it. So
yeah, a lot of people. Yeah, so you see this thing, Malvern, in terms of relationships and the quality of your relationship is one of the safeguards that God has given to us to help us to cope with the different things that come at us in life. And that's why I tell people, one of the modern things that is happening, a lot of people, you live in a city, you live next door. I live next door to Minute. I don't know Minute. And I'm the loneliest person in the world, and nobody don't know that. So this thing in terms of community is crucial, because that's how we were made, in community, and outside of community. Somebody said, dog, name your supper. That becomes important. Yeah, man.
Yes, Pastor, you always say in relationship. So true. We need each other. We need love. We need communication.
Yeah.
Before I go, will you both one day look at Luke 1 verse 26 and tell me what information you get from it. Please listen. Don't help Pastor and Pastor. Do it yourself. Don't help each other.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
All right, teacher.
All right. I look forward to that then.
All right, then.
Let me know what information you get from it.
Okay.
Luke 1:26.
Yes. Yes. Thank you. Online, Patrick Howell is asking us, he's saying condolences to the family of the late Pastor Linval Lewis. Yeah, demonic. We extend that also. Good morning and welcome.
Good morning, my lady.
How are you, sir?
Good morning, Pastor.
Morning, sir. How you doing?
I'm good, man. Yeah, I was listening to news report this morning on the several station. And to hear the commissioner of police admit something that a lot of people been saying all along. That in Manchester, they carried out certain we call it, certain operations that they are able to carry out without the state of emergency, and it was a success. I couldn't believe me when I hear the man say that.
I hope you recorded it for me.
It's well, I should have recorded it, I should have recorded it, I couldn't believe what the commissioner of police said that they have certain thing in the police force where they can do to carry out certain operation. And he said there was a success.
I don't know if you were listening yesterday, in terms of a caller who called, and he's a veteran of the force, and him say there's a lot of things we can do without the SOEs, and he has commented that him think it, having them back to back, it just nullifies the effect of it anyway. So
there was a lot of arrests and all that type of thing there, to say it was a great success.
So
and they didn't have a state of emergency.
Was he pressed to say more concerning the constant reliance on state of emergency when you can obviously, or it's just that was what you took from it, but they didn't intend.
No, it was a soundbite,
Oh, okay.
They were talking, they were reporting on what happened in Manchester, and then they play the commissioner speaking. And why I don't know. So I'm wondering, how can they come to us as a country now, and all those people who are supporting the state of emergency to walk out and lock up people, when the police have other tools in their toolbox that they can use without the state of emergency to lock up people?
There is, man. There is. If they are true to their calling and their understanding of the law, there is. So
we all know that.
Yeah, but
we all know that.
So the 300, what is it?
Intelligence packages.
So I wonder where that is at. The 300 intelligence packages. They have picked them up. What has happened?
They pick up 30 odd people without the state of emergency.
In Manchester.
I think so. But and they say they are violence producers. That's kind of the new name that they're giving people nowadays.
Violence producers.
Without the state of emergency.
All right.
It's not making up this thing, It's the commissioner said that,
So I mean, I'm very curious now. If it is a matter of public knowledge that this statement has been made in the same context where we have been led to believe that powers are needed outside of normal constitutional operations. If they've been saying that and using it to put all of the citizens in the selected areas under lockdown, let's call it that, surely there must be a follow-up conversation, what then, of the SOE in the several places where they have them.
But you see, a lot of people, is of the opinion,
Yes.
And although it is widely known that the police have enormous powers that they can use without the state of emergency, you know. But it's like you can't reach to some people because some people, even when you try to tell them, listen, the police can come in here and drop a card and search, you know. They have curfew, they have card and search, they have all of those things in the toolbox, you know.
Yes.
That they can come in and lock down a community for 24 hours and go through and search and find who they want to find the gun and all that. They can do that, you know. They can do that. I think up to 48 hours they can do something like that, you know. Without a state of emergency, you know.
Well, you have said it enlightening, but we are up on the break. It's 8:31. If you want to call back, you can. But thank you for raising that point to us. Bless you.
Yeah, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man.
All right, sir.
A difference you can hear, a difference you can feel.
Best FM 100 on your dial. Keep listening.
Bossy, how you do I take taxi star?
Jano, I want to tell you, say, at 2 months now, my transmission mash up, you know, and I check everybody and can't hear nothing positive.
Yeah, hear me? Yeah, waste all that time I shop around and never call the experts. Winters Auto have them. Them have over 35 years of experience and them diagnose the problem and get back your transmission brand new. Them service excellent and efficient. Trust me, man. Yeah, hear me? Call them at 929-7040 or go to them at 106 Maxfield Avenue, Kingston 13 and talk directly to the boss. Just tell them I'm me send you.
You big star. Yeah, man. Respect my boss.
Trust me.
What a relief.
What should a taxi service do for you? On-time taxi service is more than just a ride to the other side of town. They offer clean and spacious vehicles, reliable service, and promise to always look out for their customers. They'll come when you call and take you where you want to go on time.
We are something special on the road.
Veteran Printers for all your printing needs. We specialize in calendars, flyers, brochures, and more. Call us today at 968-7506. That's 968-7506. Or visit us at 4 East Bloomsbury Road, off Hagley Park Road. Veteran Printers, your best choice in printing.
Yes, what's coming to the best 100 of them. In the mix with Nessa and DJ Richie. The mix comes on every Monday to Thursday, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Join us as we entertain you, inform you, and educate you on everything that will keep you in the mix on Best 100 of them. Como la vibes.
This is your beloved Pastor Percy from the Morning Connection. Support our commitment to Jamaica by joining us on Wednesday mornings at 7:30 when we pray for the nation. Show us you care. Advertise with us. For more information, call our offices at 876-276-8935.
The Morning Connection is not your usual talk show. We aim to stimulate discussion and chart new paths to self-empowerment. So please join us, Minette and Percy, on The Morning Connection, Mondays to Thursdays, 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. on Best 100 FM.
It's good. It's better. But nothing beats. Best.
Good morning and welcome back. And based on an exchange we had, I just want to say to those listening who have elders in their family who may have like recently lost their wife or their spouse, and they are sending you signals that they want to go home.
I release them.
Release them. Release the beloved elders.
No, we're not able
Tell
to kill
them
them.
it's okay.
Okay, tell us. Like what
Yes.
Abraham did. Bless them and just pull up him feet. Not Abraham.
Jacob.
Jacob.
Good morning and welcome.
Good morning.
Good morning, my brother. How are you?
And to the whole universe that is life.
Always.
Pastor,
Yes, my brother. How are you?
I'm right in front of you.
Okay.
Looking at it. I hear say God create the darkness and the light.
Okay.
That might have been me.
Oh, that is you?
Yes.
Listen to me now. You want the maker of the universe is here, there, and everywhere. Right in front is in the spiritual identity of oneness throughout the universe. In this truth, where it is, it is that. Do you know this minute and the world who listening, the earth is spinning. Where the earth is spinning.
The earth is what?
Spinning.
Oh.
Spinning.
Yes.
Got it.
Spinning. And we read upon. We're on earth. So if we're on earth, that earth is spinning at space. The magnetic shift of space is everywhere. Only the earth stands still. Its creation uniteness. So obvious now, where is this minute? In the future, with the God. May I show the shadow.
Listen, I'm only hearing every second word that you say. The call quality is poor. It's just cutting in and out.
Yeah, it's moving. Yeah, it's moving in and out.
I'm not hearing all that you're saying.
You're not hearing all of that I'm saying this minute?
No,
This is better now. Yeah.
I was only getting every second word because the call kept going in and out.
You hear me now?
I'm hearing you now.
Right.
Yes, I'm saying so.
Yes.
The earth is spinning into space.
Yes.
And if the earth is spinning into space, we on earth spinning also. You understand that?
I know the physics of it. I don't know if your understanding and mine are the same. But if something is turning and we are in it, then we are turning too.
All right.
That's
so
what you mean.
The maker of the universe that is right in front of you, you have to really and humble to acknowledge that identity because only truth can set you free. The God when you're talking about this minute, the identity, that there is no escape from it. There is no hiding place from it. It is here, there, and everywhere. Nothing to stop or block it because it's in oneness with.
Yes.
So everything is a shadow. That is the shadow of the Almighty. Almighty will it into spiritual formation. You hear me?
I'm hearing you.
Into the spiritual formation. And that spiritual formation to bring captivity in society that is our world leaders them who create this power. Because remember, say them want to control the world, you know. And to control the world, you know, you have to wipe out some of the creation of the people, them, to move them up out of that level. So you're going to come, things will come until everywhere. So what you need to do is to secure yourself with you and your maker, personal, have a personal relationship, and tell you the God who you serve. And that God is right in front. So no one that sight, God, that sight is a universal sight in oneness. So no create darkness. Darkness is creator of all its creation.
All right.
So,
okay.
Yes, absolutely.
All right then. Okay, we've heard you. So, anything else you want to share? Because you've shared this before. In terms of, so we're in agreement in terms of in God there is darkness and night because He is God. Anything else?
What I'm saying now, the crime and violence we're facing right now
Yes.
is an oppression of a system
Okay.
That claim more power from power.
Okay.
Do you understand that?
And so therefore, to overcome it, one power has to be greater than the other one. That's what you're saying.
Yes, you have to go to the greater power.
Okay.
That is the spiritual power that is right in front of you.
All right then. Okay.
So after that spiritual power, you can get your free. Because Pastor, yes, no. It's two ways to life. You're negative and positive. You get a chance to make free will.
Okay.
So if you want to make this side, the free will and go over the negative side, you're free.
Yeah. And if you want to go over the positive side, you're still free. That is the great thing about free will that we have.
All right. That is what the maker did here, because they're designed perfect, unique.
Okay.
Design already, so you know in the physical, if you know your purpose and your existence to play a part.
Yes.
To make creation be better.
You choose the right. You choose the positive and you continue to. Right.
Is the right thing.
Okay then.
And that thing lead to the source of life, because of life don't balance its creation with both male and female. So if you go on the opposite side, that is Sodom and Gomorrah, it's full of vanity.
Okay.
To go on to humanity.
All right.
You cannot enter fiction. You cannot enter the promised land. You cannot enter Mount Zion. Why?
Because of the choices that you have made. All right, darkness. We have another call on 9. So thank you for what you have said. Everybody has to make a choice, and then they have to deal with the reality of the choices that they have made. All right?
Not of the physical, but of the spiritual.
Yeah, man.
So remember.
Yeah, man.
All right.
All right. Blessings.
Yeah.
All right. I remember doing a study on some issue pertaining to darkness and light.
Mm-hmm.
And one theory that was gone into in some detail is that darkness is merely the absence of light.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not a created thing. It is light that was created.
Mm-hmm.
Darkness has no movement, no momentum, no life in it.
Mm-hmm.
When God spoke into darkness, something that had life was created. Good morning and welcome.
Yeah, I wanted to say something else.
Go ahead, my brother. It's all right. Go ahead.
Yeah, man. In this time of shopping, you see?
Yes.
I think consumers need to. I don't think a lot of people are aware of this. Even if they are aware of it, they are not exercising what they right.
Yes.
I went to the supermarket the other day to purchase something. The price that I saw on the shelf. When I took it to the cashier, it was $200 more, $100 and something dollars more, $120 more than the price I saw on the shelf. And I said to the cashier, no, man, that is not the price. The price that I saw on the shelf is the price I'm supposed to pay.
Mm-hmm.
They sent me to. She said, "All right, must go to the person, the manager. There are some people in the supermarket." And I went there and demanded my right to send me back to take the tag off the thing and bring it to her. I took it back to her, and she looked at it and she went and consulted higher up in the chain of command, and I got the price that I saw on the shelf. So I just want to remind our consumers that whatever you see on this shelf
is what you must pay.
That's the price you're supposed to pay.
Yes, in fact, the Fair Trading Commission had dealt with that issue, and the consumer affairs people have been putting that word out for a long time. They call it bait and switch. There's a law against bait and switch. You bait the person with a low price, and when you get to the counter, they switch to a higher price. They are bound by the price on the goods or on the shelf.
A lot of shoppers are just what I would is like we don't value our dollars that we spend in this country now. And that's why the merchant and the business people are taking advantage of us, Because I see individuals with the same product that I have and paying the price that they charge them at the cashier,
Yeah, well, two things can happen, and you have to be open to that. One, persons don't see the price on the shelf. Have you been in some supermarkets where they just put up a whole set of stickers on the shelf?
I
And
don't know which one apply
you
for which
can't
one.
tell what applies to what.
Yes, but when
So
I
that's
when I
misleading.
when I see that, I take it to the cashier to find out the real price,
Yes. But can I tell you something, my brother? That is why we need our elders in this society, because most persons going to shop, I can tell you that busy people going to shop, like a mother on the run grabbing something, don't have the time to study things that way. So they tend to go with, when you go to the counter, if you see it on the thing and it gone over the budget, you look and say, what is this? You take it off. You don't have time. I have a sister who, when she was around me, listen, no supermarket can get away with any of that nonsense. She took the time to do it, and it was a blessing to me because I didn't have the time. Sometimes you just don't even see that that's what they're doing.
Time is money, Time is money,
Yeah, but
sometimes if they decide to charge me even $1, I protest it. Is that
the principle?
Is the principle I'm talking about?
Yeah, but you see, yeah, but when you say time is money, true. Persons who sell their time are always saying, well, is it worth my time to stay and fight this or to go and make some money? And a lot of times, go and make some money win. All of us have a sense of the value of the money, because you will see them at the corner, beating down a man with a different price who they believe they can, overcome whatever he's saying. I think the issue we have is that many of us as consumers still see the owner of the business as having greater authority with what he's doing and how he's doing it, and we don't challenge it nearly often.
Yeah, because yes, that is true. Because as a sort of secret code, because even the banks,
Yes.
When you go inside the bank, and the line is long, everybody just shut up their mouth and nobody not saying anything.
Right. Yes.
You know what time I go in the bank, I'm going to knock on the door and call out the man. Say, wait, I do it. I'm not in here to spend the whole day. What happened? Look at the smart people.
Yeah.
All right.
Send out right. So it's one of the things that we gotta break. We have to break that. That is a stronghold, all right? We have to get away from it. We need to be more challenging in situations that require us to press for better for ourselves. It's why they would kill a pastor, but they not kill a politician. That crossed my mind. I'm not saying we must go kill politicians.
Right.
I'm just saying,
I understand what you're saying. I understand what you're saying. There are certain people in this country that I don't know. Because I see even the Prime Minister did that thing one time that I when he was talking to Prince Charles, not Prince Charles,
which one?
Prince
Williams, okay.
And I look at the man, and to me, the man was taking toe and digging through the ground,
Oh, God. It looks servile.
Why?
No, the minute him said, I know what you sometimes.
I think it must feel very uncomfortable.
It's like if
when he's talking to us as Jamaica, voice loud and
I'm have strength for we.
Have strength for us. It's like if you're a child and you see your parent begging the landlord to give him a break. Yeah.
We need people to must be able to read body language, man. We're not reading body language at all.
No, you mean we're not talking about it? We are all reading it. We're all reading it. We're all reading it. We don't talk about it.
I tell you, I don't think a lot of people don't have that skill, It's a skill, to read body language,
That's true.
That's true. But I tell you, more people have it than you think. Do you remember when the prime ministers of the CARICOM ministers were sitting in the hallway at the hotel waiting on Mr. Trump?
Yes, I saw.
Oh, that picture elicited a lot of analysis and commentary internationally. It's just that, boy, many of us are so trapped in the
way of
system
thinking and a mindset.
that we haven't quite figured out how to escape it, but we know it's not good for us.
No,
yeah, man, but 2023, man, we need to take a
shift. We have to shift now.
I know we operate in this country. You know, because we have too much sacred cow, man. We need to break down some of those sacred cows, man.
All right, we'll eat beef.
All right.
Right away, the producer objected because he does not eat beef.
Hey, if I don't speak to people for the rest of the year, have a Merry Christmas and a prosperous New Year when it comes along.
Thank you very much. We absolutely wish you the same.
Okay, all right, bye-bye.
Bye.
But you know what is fascinating?
Good morning and welcome. Percy's a beef eater. Good morning. Welcome.
I don't.
Or look like the call is gone, so you get some time. What happened to us with all this beef eating?
No, it's like my son says, need some clothes. As the youngest, I'm in the place. So we're buying this stuff, and I says, watch this. When you purchase this amount, you can take to them and say, I need a discount. He said, Daddy, come on. I said, no, man. It's my money I spent, so let me show you do it. In terms of you need to learn how to negotiate.
Was he embarrassed and left you at the counter?
You know them staring.
Of course.
It's all right.
Good morning and welcome. Hi, Georgie. Good morning.
Hey, George, how are you, sir?
Coffee.
Oh, good. That's great.
Well, I know if Earl Brown could talk to you, he would tell you to send some for Minette.
No problem, man. It's here, man. I mean, one
Blue Mountain.
One circle, you know.
Blue Mountain. Blue Mountain, they drinking, boss? Or the low mountain or the high mountain? Which one?
Whatever mountain is it?
Jamaican coffee, yeah.
Jamaican coffee.
Jamaican coffee, right, exactly. So what I do?
So somebody asking when is customer appreciation day for George?
Yes. How much time you come here? How much time your sister come here? We go keep customer appreciation and how much time?
Well, listen, as far as I'm concerned, every time I visited you, it was Customer Appreciation Day. I felt well appreciated. So I was rising to your defense. What you want me to say to the producer now?
No, that would have been past I go on with.
Oh, okay.
But
you know, every day that you come here, that customer appreciation day.
All right, George. But
because you get your discount.
I've passed by there on many occasions, and I don't see you. Because probably it's the time that I come, you would finish for the day, you know, and some other times I mostly come on weekends, like Saturdays and Sunday when I pass through. So I don't see you.
What time you pass here? What time?
Late in the evening, because that's the time I'm able to do it. So
night you pass, man, night.
Night, that's true.
Night you pass.
That was a certain time. All right. I'll try to pass through night a day.
George, I don't want to distract you from why you called us. You here?
All right, yeah, man, no problem. Listen up now. With the pastor brethren, if no look that is familiar saying, but there was an item in the news that is pastor and a politician.
Not him.
And a subject. Yes.
It says his wife.
You don't see it on the paper.
It says his wife. His wife.
His wife.
Are you going with the 2R1? So if his wife is a politician, so is he?
Well, that's what they say. That's what I was reading. So
man, it says that it says his wife is a Jamaica Labour Party councillor caretaker.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Because of me married, you know.
Yes.
You know, my wife to be a caretaker, you know.
You want her to be the
problem
MP?
Somebody on the line, you know, with it's good lungs.
Yeah, and I can see, and I think they made it clear that by including that in the report, they're signaling to us that other things could easily be at play
in the situation.
Simple as that.
Yeah.
The pastor, you know, him now want one person as a pastor when us go counseling, go look for people. Don't get involved, and then look at the man thing.
Yeah, but
you understand me with them color thing, you don't get involved. Just prayers, look after him as a pastor, to go about the business. And when we hear that, it kind of look into why this happened. And then the pastor can't go anywhere. just like the one pastor, the pastor they call the transporter.
Oh, yes.
Mm-hmm.
You know who?
Yes, man. I mean, it's not first fun. But George, I want to share something with you though.
Sure.
I'm not of the belief and opinion that we should not, Christians generally, pastors, not be involved in politics in terms of, because politics is about governance, and we hear bawling out about how governance is wrong. So if men of integrity don't get themselves involved, this is why we get what we get. Because remember this, people don't know this, in the formation of the People's National Party, there were a lot of pastors who were a part of that, if people don't remember that, So I don't know. I don't subscribe to the viewpoint that says Christian must not be involved in politics and things, because you live in Jamaica, and I believe in being involved in marketplace ministry. So if we're not there, we can't really say anything. If you're not there, you must not say anything. But if you are there and you bring your principles of integrity and love and honor and those things, that's how you change a situation. What do you think?
Yes, what for me, I disagree, and the reason why I disagree is because a pastor is supposed to be a person that if anybody gets wounded,
you can't
heal them
outside
and counsel.
Yes.
We're not supposed to get in a politics, because politicians tell lies. And some of them are criminals. They keep promising people that we're going to fix the road when we go to port, and go to port, and the road not fix the engineer. So I don't think a pastor should really get himself involved in that. He's supposed to be a person that doing the healing.
But George, if you set that rule for the pastor, it means you are now institutionalizing or making permanent as a part of the fabric of politics the necessity to lie and the necessity to be tribal. Aren't we looking for the politics that a political representative, is accessible to everyone, whether they voted for him or against him?
Should be.
Once you set out to serve the people, it doesn't become a question of which person you selectively serve, but the quality of service that you offer. So you are serving everybody. The two of you who are in contest, or the three of you, or the four of you, or if we are lucky, God willing, many people come forward and you're choosing from 10 people.
Yes.
It should be that it is the quality of service they offer, and that's where we're going. We're not trying to keep as a part of our political culture this business of tribalism and lying, which is a part of what is happening today.
So people,
I don't even know if they lie. I think they make promises and they don't lie. But I think they say things.
I said them now get back now vote down here until they come back up to the road.
Yeah, but hear what happened.
Because they're going to Parliament, nobody's not filling back.
No, but listen.
That's why I say 50% and 80% of Jamaica people never vote because they're just tired of this.
But in all fairness, George, you are a Jamaica Labour Party MP. And you succeed at the polls, and your colleague MP is responsible for whatever works. Your people are pressing for their infrastructure to be addressed. You yourself talking to the man every so often when you meet and say so-and-so community. He has an agenda, and I'm talking about what's happening in Jamaica right now today. You think many of the MPs, the JLP MPs can go to Warmington and tell them, say, listen, man, I need this now, and my people have been hungry for years. And worse yet, if the community members decide to protest, and you hear the man say, if you no protest, you not get no
road. You remember that?
So MP, so an MP can stand before the people and say, I'm gonna get your road sorted and so on and so forth, and then when he meet up on a Warmington, he cannot get anything going in the time frame, and his words become a lie. That's why where we sit, we say you can't put your trust in what a man is saying, because man don't have the wherewithal to carry out what he promises. it is only God who has that ability. So anybody can be made into a liar. Let God be true and every man a liar.
We see so much of this thing up. Let's see politician cross the floor, gone over to the other side.
Yeah, because him disappointed and him too think people lie to him. Can we take a break for the? It's 9 o'clock and we have to take the station break.
That's a good note.
All right, thanks, George. Bye.
Seniors, the Ministry of Labor and Social Security is advising that the November 2022 payment under the Social Pension Program is now available for collection. Check your text messages to confirm your payment arrangements. For further information, call 876-922-8007. The Social Pension Program, caring for our elderly. A message from the Ministry of Labor and Social Security, providing opportunity, stability, and social protection.
It's the season of giving, and the SOS Children's Village is proudly celebrating 50 years in Jamaica. Yes, that's 50 strong years of relentless support to our nation's children. Do you have a heart to care for the less fortunate? Help us to continue provide a safe home for the children. Donate to a worthy cause. Donate through our website at www.sos-jamaica.org or call us at 979-5850. That's 979-5850.
What should a taxi service do for you? On-time taxi service is more than just a ride to the other side of town. They offer clean and spacious vehicles, reliable service, and promise to always look out for their customers. They'll come when you call and take you where you want to go on time.
Call us at 926-3866. We are something special on the road.
Half a tree, one and drive, half a tree. Bossy, how we do I take taxi star?
Chano, I want to tell you, say, 2 months now, my transmission mash up, and I check everybody and can't hear nothing positive.
Yeah, hear me? Yeah, waste all that time I shop around and never call the experts. Winters Auto have them. Them have over 35 years of experience and them diagnose the problem and get back your transmission brand new. For them service excellent and efficient. Trust me, man. Yeah, hear me? Call them at 929-7040 or go to them at 106 Maxfield Avenue, Kingston 13 and talk directly to the boss. Just tell them I'm me, send you.
You big star. Yeah, man, respect my boss.
Try to call him, cause trust me.
What a relief.
Yes, what's coming to the best 100 of them. In a mix with Nessa and DJ Richie. The mix comes on every Monday to Thursday, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Join us as we entertain you, inform you, and educate you on everything that will keep you in a mix on Best 100 of them. From what I vibes.
This is your beloved Pastor Percy from the Morning Connection. Support our commitment to Jamaica by joining us on Wednesday mornings at 7:30 when we pray for the nation. Show us you care. Advertise with us. For more information, call our offices at 876-276-8935.
The Morning Connection is not your usual talk show. We aim to stimulate discussion and chart new paths to self-empowerment. So please join us, Minette and Percy, on The Morning Connection, Mondays to Thursdays, 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. on Best 100 FM.
It's good. It's better, but nothing beats.
Good morning and welcome back to the caller on the line. Thank you for holding. Good morning. Good morning. How are you?
We're good. Good morning to all my brothers and my sisters from the east to the west to the north and to the south of this beautiful, lovely holy garden. We love you all. Miss Minette and Brother Percy, good morning too. And to your husband.
Good morning, Miss Elaine. All have acknowledged and given you a nod and a smile.
Yeah. Brother Percy, you look up into the sky yet?
Brother Percy just went out on a phone call. I don't
Okay.
think he look up in the sky yet.
And you don't look up into the sky either.
I am always a stargazer, Miss Elaine.
So you see the star what I was talking about?
No, I don't. I didn't remember that when you were describing it. I was trying to get a better understanding of it. Like you were saying, stars that move. And I was gonna say something to you that these days there are a lot of drones and aircrafts, unmanned vehicles that are traversing the sky. That sometimes you might see things moving, and it is not is not a star.
That's why I want you to speak for yourself. Because these 3 stars they come every year. You understand?
Oh, okay. I didn't realize it was a seasonal thing you were talking about. But
yes,
yeah,
it's a seasonal thing. Anybody, when the night come, go outside and look up into the sky. Me see the sky. Me spot me there.
Yes.
Me start them like from around July.
But it is well known in astrology that there are stars that become visible at certain time because of the movement in the galaxy. So yeah, if you research it, you can even find out which ones you would see based on where you are.
Yes, but me I tell you, say them because me don't know nothing about them. From me, I look up them at the tree, them started at the tree.
The 3 wise.
You know.
Yeah.
But I wasn't mean what that. You look up in really. But since me big and me out of me live now, for a couple of years now, me I tell you about say me I notice them 3 started. Them come from the west and go right over. Like Port Royal, where they saw, them reach over there by the December, and them stay right there until after them start move and come back this way. You understand what I say?
Yes, ma'am. Percy's back now.
Yeah.
Did you look up in the sky and
so the star then?
And talk to Elaine about the stars that become visible at this time?
No, I didn't.
Oh,
that's the truth. I didn't.
You didn't.
Miss Elaine.
Brother Percy,
yes,
you need to prove them for yourself.
Okay, my dear.
You understand? These them start like in July. You understand? And them go and them travel from July, from them time they go right over there, so go stop in a December.
You mean over in Port Royal?
Somewhere over that side here.
Okay. All right.
Them stop.
All right, so you say asking me to look out for it then the 3 stars that move like over to Port Royal to the east. All right, I'll follow it.
Them travel from this time now December, them supposed to go further. Them near now to over this now.
All right then. Thanks for telling me. I'll look out for it tonight. All right?
Yeah, man, look out, man.
All right then.
Listen, me hear some people call it. You see that I'm talking about the Bible and them things there. You know what I'm saying? The Bible have a lot of positive things in it. Right, Brother Percy?
Yes, man. That's why it is the bestseller of all times.
Eh?
That's why it is the bestseller of all time. There's a lot of wisdom and good principles in it, yes?
No, a lot of negative thing in the Bible too.
So why you consider it? You must have good and bad. That's why I accept it, because most people said if you wanted to make a point, you only put the good things. But in the word of God, they say the both sides of human nature.
So you agree with her that they're negative?
Yes,
things?
man, I agree with her. Yeah, man.
What is the negative that is on your mind, or what's on your mind, Miss Elaine?
Listen now, it's the negative part of it.
Yeah.
It's when I'm tell about the Holy Father, the wicked things and bad things and them other things there. Our Father is not like that. When them say them things there, a man write them things there for drive fear in a people. Okay. You understand? He's a love, because as them say, a Satan give us the problem, right? Why him don't kill Satan and stop the problem. Because him not in the killing things. You understand? Him though in the killing thing and them depend some other things. I just feel say it's two spirits, I maybe more. But Satan, that's what them say, and the Holy Father, but him conquer because of your good things he doing.
But Elaine, but remember he's supreme and Satan, as we call him, is a created being. So he's above supreme and everything else. So I'm not dependent on what Satan do or not. What simply happens in terms of the evil that we see being manifest in the world is based on decisions that we take in terms of between choosing good or evil, right or wrong. All right?
Right. I'm going to post it. You said we start doing that.
Yes.
You said we start doing that, my brother. You also the world change.
In terms of the choices we make. I agree with you. We have another. Yeah, man. And this is a very good point that you have made. We have another call line, but thanks for sharing. I'm going to check out the stars tonight and then probably
do a report.
And then do a report next week when we come back after the long break. Bless you. Thank you, Sister Elaine.
All right, take care.
Have a lovely day.
Yeah, man.
Good morning and welcome.
Hello?
Good morning.
Good morning, sir. How are you?
Yes, man, I don't come to make peace, but a sword.
Rusty, how are you?
Rusty. Your sword is welcome here.
I say, well, I don't laugh after me yesterday. You don't laugh after me, no.
I will never laugh after you. Come on, Rusty.
You wanted a call, and all I want to join with him and laugh after me.
Not at all.
Laughing after me, laughing me to scorn yesterday.
No, Rusty, we never lost it to scorn.
What program are you listening to?
Laughing after me yesterday, man.
Never. Shame on you to say that.
So this man said me no come to make peace, but that's true. Laugh after me again.
We're happy to hear you.
See you do it now. See you doing it.
That's what you mean.
Rusty,
we are happy to hear you. We are happy to hear you.
You're happy to hear me?
Yes, and you know that too. So stop rough us up.
Anyway, that's not what we call it.
Put away your sword.
Look here.
Yes.
All this $50 million what this Prime Minister announced is a next handout, you know.
Well, if it actually leaves his hand, I don't regard it as any profitable expenditure.
It's a next handout because this $50 million and again do nothing to curb crime, you know. We do it already. We do this thing already and it never works.
We're still doing it. We're still doing it. They still have money that is pledged for crime stop and whatever tip line and. Yeah.
Why we not use this money in agriculture when thousands of acres of land thrown down all over the place? Why we don't make agriculture become viable that the youth them can turn to agriculture? Huh?
Or even if you're determined, say you want to keep plenty people in prison for a long time, put it into a farming project in the various prisons that they can do.
Yes. So this handout, you know, when the people get this handout, I mean, what says a handout policy, that kind of generalship deal with the same kind of handout where the government do politics took power until now. It's a handout thing. So next year now, when they take the sycamore and eat out the sycamore, no, next year they're hungry again.
Yeah. Or worse yet, they're people are encouraging people to make up stories.
So we need long-term strategy. Understand?
Yes, sir. Agree with that.
We need long-term strategy, not this like a band-aid thing when we see them use. All these things are like a band-aid. They might put on the thing.
So Rusty, I agree with you that in terms of the crime plan or the crime program or whatever you call it, what you're putting on the table is ensuring that we have food security by producing, and that's a part of your crime plan in terms of getting the highlands back to work using agriculture as an important thing. Yeah.
Look on those sugar land. Look on those sugar land down in Carolina. They don't like money much space. All these land two down there not doing anything, you know.
Yeah.
I have a lot of youth in the country. So this is like a handout, like a band-aid. I don't see this government announce nothing to stimulate the economy. Did you see anything there to stimulate the economy?
Not for us, my brother.
The 1 billion
Not for us.
in investment.
Every plan is for somebody else.
And then we run down back to the IMF as a general. Like crisis the country, you know. They run down back to the IMF, you know, as a general, you know, like crisis the country, you know.
Well, I mean, the IMF as a lender is not your lender of choice in times of prosperity. And I'm hoping that persons who have been touting, listening and repeating all the statements about how wonderful things are and how well the government is doing and the growth path that we're on, that they recognize that if all that were true, we wouldn't need the IMF. We would have other monies available to us.
And then the government is hiding the poverty thing. It's hiding the poverty thing, you know. Because long time we don't hear nothing of the poverty. Every poverty gone down and it come up. Long time we don't hear anything. Hello?
I'm just thinking about that one and just contemplating whether there's a cycle on which they make those reports and if they have missed reporting on it, because that information would come out of statin and out of the
I'll be honest about that something there is down.
Yeah. I'm going to ask you one thing before I go. Assume God. Can you get the poverty thing and check it out to find out how high or low it is?
The last poverty thing, yeah. All right.
Index. Okay.
Yeah, man.
Thanks, Rusty.
All right, Rusty.
Yeah, man. Welcome. I enjoy your rest of the season.
All right, Rusty.
My brother,
Best thing
thank
to
you
you,
very
man.
much.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Good morning and welcome.
Good morning.
Good morning, Wayne.
Good morning.
So nice to recognize the voices.
Take away the remittance, I'm calling it.
Remittances, yeah.
Yeah, take away that from the country of Jamaica. Just imagine none of that now go on where Jamaica will be today. Right? So there's no real success. When you're successful and when you can stand up on your own 2 feet and play your part and do your thing, and you have to depend on other people from other countries and give your hands out. But differently from that, we ask what these people have been doing over the years. And we don't know if we are sitting waiting for a miracle for these people's mind to change and the Lord give them a new heart. But we who have the new heart and know what is to be done and I see the problem, we need to unite. We need to come together and help the people then, you know, because we might say the people them have to bring the change, but to me, most of the people them still walking in a form of darkness. Them not really a keep check on what go on. Enough of the people them done at the ghetto. As a ghetto youth, I say I don't think they are keeping proper check on what is really happening in their country, how their leaders are leading really, what they're really doing. So the people them who down in the ghetto, who do a keep check, plus those who are more educational, have a better education and a keep check on things. We have to come together to make the change, you know. Because if we keep talking to them and them not doing nothing to really make that change, then if we just keep talking, them are going to look for me as an idiot, so them can continue to do what they need to, what them are do. That benefit them. Yeah. It benefit them, you know. All the money them are borrow and all the tax them are collect from the people, it benefit them, not the people.
I want to remind you of something though, Wayne, as you are, you know, thinking on it and speaking on it. I want you to remember that what we do here in this little slice of time that we have on the radio is only one element of what is happening. I know frequently we are here. This is a talk show, so talk is what goes on. But outside of this room, men and women all across Jamaica, at high level and low levels, are doing things. They're taking decisions. They're moving through their program day to day. Like it or not, things are changing even as we speak. When we talk like this on air, we are seeking to shape opinions and maybe even influence a direction, that the movement that is always taking place can shift into a track that is prosperous and acceptable for most of us. I know that there is some frustration in not seeing the movement emerge as quickly as we would like. But I got to remind you of this too. You who are in the stream, flowing with the life that's taking place, will not necessarily see the movement. You have to be above it, outside of it. And if you have a certain level of spirituality, you can feel it and you'll feel the shifts. Like we feel the shift. I feel the shift. Every morning, every Wednesday morning, when I repeat these declarations, as I am speaking them, I can feel the areas where a shift has taken place. And then if you are really actively engaged in thought leadership, I borrowed that from Miss Kamina's Commonwealth Caper. If you're really engaged in thought leadership, you then know I gotta push more to the left, more to the right, keep to the center. In a way, I'm encouraging you and reassuring you that the very things we are talking about here, even as we speak, they're gathering momentum, they're moving. What we want to do is keep the pressure on so we influence the direction that it takes. And everything that happens in the stream of life has an impact. This pastor who has been killed, depending on what people do in the next 48 hours, you will see the impact of one type or another. You hear somebody mention that the man's wife is a politician. It's been they took time to put it in the report. So now political angles are going to come into play and you're going to see different things. My brother, one thing we know about matter, it is always changing. And life is energy. It is always changing, always moving, always doing something. No matter how small the shift might be, it gathers momentum, it has mass, it has impact.
All right. Yeah. I'm hearing you. By when election supposed to do again?
February.
Mean February you come?
No,
municipal election, yeah.
I'm talking about general election, man.
Well, you could have a general election in February and you never know what could happen, what could swing.
No, but constitutionally due is 5 years from the 20th. Was it the 20th or the 21st? Is last year?
20th,
from the 21st. So it's 2026.
Yeah, but the truth is because remember the government can say I need another mandate and then
depending on what happens. Yeah. And you see, we're talking about it now. You know, we can shape ideas. If you want it early, you can bring a crisis to the boil. That can bring it early. But do you necessarily want that? Just things to think about. Be encouraged. Be encouraged.
Yes, sir.
Question here, Pastor. Them kill a pastor, right?
Yes.
I notice you have a lot of pastors of them gone.
Them tool.
Them gone. Yeah, them tool, them gone.
All right, them sword.
Right?
Yes.
So how you look on that pastor as pastor having God?
It's a personal decision you have to take. Personally, I would not. Some people have thought about it and they have it. So it goes back down to...
You don't condemn a man who have it or one who don't take it.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's a personal decision.
Sure, because gun is a gun still in it.
Yeah.
It's the man behind it, how he uses it.
It's how he uses it,
Yeah.
It's right up there with the conversation yesterday about sell your cloak and buy a sword.
Yeah.
Obviously, having a weapon of defense is not outside the contemplation of...
But automatically still,
yes.
we are mapped it out. These pastors also know that, mercy, but sometimes you have got judgment too. That's why I'm having God.
That's true. But I think most of them have it for self-defense. Because other things.
Still judgment.
Still judgment.
Thanks,
All right.
Yeah, man.
Good morning and welcome.
Morning, boss. Pastor.
Good morning, sir. We're good.
Wonderful. I just encourage you to remind us that there's a time when them man there try to force Jesus and
come, we make you king. And him say, let's ask for this one. I no time for that.
No time for that as yet, because he knew his purpose and his timing. So,
and it's very interesting in terms of I would allude that the Judas that we talk about, he was also impatient, and the disciples tried to force Jesus on, and then in such a disappointment in terms of that he end up that in actually his action end up that Jesus went to be crucified. He was so sad about the whole thing that never got the way that him forced him to raise up his army. But then they say them now realize that Jesus' purpose at this point was nothing about his entrance in glory at the end to come and everything will be judged. They perceive that. So it's important how we look at the whole life and the style of it and our part we play, and when that time comes.
Understand your purpose and your time and season. Yeah, understanding purpose, time, and season in your life. And that's what I tell a lot of people, you know. And Minette speaks to it a lot of times. The whole thing of you have to be in relationship, so you understand your time and the season of your life that you're in. I've had to go through that process. Understanding time, season. There's a season and a time in your own life. Some of the time you just have to just sit down and wait. Some of the time it is get up and act. But you have to understand your timing and your season. That is why it is so important that you understand God's will and purpose for your life.
Well, what is interesting in all that we tend to summarize in terms of this is that all the experiences that we go through in terms of the event to come, it is preparing us to bring up that higher standard.
That's correct.
So therefore, those who fall short of patience or forbearance, you name whatever the character of God is, it is to help to bring out that character out of all of us.
Yep.
That we can continue to be the image and likeness of Him.
Amen.
So that when the time comes that we need to execute the judgment or the situation, because I can tell you, it's 40 years I've been doing city work. And I can tell you, it's not that easy wait when you say the system and how people suffer and we keep them into the same position for many years. But as you say, you have to understand the greater period where the people come together in unity and make a voice, one voice. We're done with this. Jamaica or Jamaican?
Time come.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much. Enjoy yours too. Good morning and welcome. Good morning. Welcome. I just took a quick look to see if I could find the latest poverty indicator report for Jamaica.
Not yet.
No, what I'm seeing is like 2017.
Yeah.
But that's on the Statin website. But I've put in a request for it. Good morning and welcome.
Morning, love and bless. How go on?
Hey,
All is good.
African, how you do?
You know, my present time, I give thanks for it, you know.
Yes, I hear you, my brother.
Good to be here, you know. What a plot, them a plot against I and I.
There's so many plots, you have to be more specific.
Yeah, man, boy, you play that tune when you
as we exit.
They won't, but they won't catch eye.
Bob Marley, yeah?
I know, man, the prophet.
You heard that, Lloydie? What a plot, them a plot against I and I, a Bob Marley song. I think that's a lyric from it. I'm not sure it's which song. Which song is it? Just for when we close the show. All right. So your request is in, sir.
Yes, Miss Minetti. So, Miss Minetti, I'm more good people in our world are more bad people.
Aye.
I see the good in everybody.
Yes.
Why have you asked me that?
Miss Minetti.
Yes. I would say we are equal parts of. I think we're in neutral until something pushes us.
Miss Minetti.
Yes.
Reverend. That's it right now. The good people, them go sit down in their house and ban them veranda and I drive out of their house and I see a gunshot. Huh?
Well, that was the pastor's experience, and is many of us experience.
So Miss Minette, we not gonna fight back.
Of course, you have to fight back. The how you fight back is always the question. Can you stay with me? I just got the signal to take a station break. It's 9:30.
All right, love.
Thank you.
Seniors, the Ministry of Labor and Social Security is advising that the November 2022 payment under the Social Pension Program is now available for collection. Check your text messages to confirm your payment arrangements. For further information, call 876-922-8007. The Social Pension Program, caring for our elderly. A message from the Ministry of Labor and Social Security, providing opportunity, stability, and social protection.
Rush to PJ Santa Cruz and freshen up your home for Christmas. Choose from a wide range of great bedding, kitchen and bathroom curtains, mats and other accessories, decorations, lights, household paints, paintbrushes, and much more. Lots of toys for the children. God's richest blessing on your livestock and ground produce. As you purchase feeds, medication, vitamins, fertilizers, seeds, and other items. Yes, farmers, good sales for all the things you bought at PJ's stores. So this Christmas, spend some of the money at PJ Santa Cruz. You will have no regret.
Half a tree, one and drive, half a tree. Bossy, how we do I take taxi start?
Chano, I want to tell you, say, 2 months now, my transmission mash up, and I check everybody and can't hear nothing positive.
Yeah, hear me? Yeah, waste all that time I shop around and never call the experts. Winters Auto have them. Them have over 35 years of experience and them diagnose your problem and get back your transmission brand new. For them service excellent and efficient. Trust me, man. Yeah, hear me? Call them at 929-7040 or go to them at 106 Maxfield Avenue, Kingston 13 and talk directly to the boss. Just tell them I'm me send you.
You big star. Yeah, man, respect my boss.
Try to call him, cause trust me.
What a relief.
It's the season of giving, and the SOS Children's Village is proudly celebrating 50 years in Jamaica. Yes, that's 50 strong years of relentless support to our nation's children. Do you have a heart to care for the less fortunate? Help us to continue to provide a safe home for the children. Donate to a worthy cause. Donate through our website at www.sos-jamaica.org or call us at 979-5850. That's 979-5850.
What should a taxi service do for you? On-time taxi service is more than just a ride to the other side of town. They offer clean and spacious vehicles, reliable service, and promise to always look out for their customers. They'll come when you call and take you where you want to go on time.
You can call us at 926-3866. We are something special on the road.
The Morning Connection is not your usual talk show. We aim to stimulate discussion and chart new paths to self-empowerment. So please join us, Minette and Percy, on The Morning Connection, Mondays to Thursdays, 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. on Best 100 FM.
It's good. It's better. But nothing beats.
Good morning and welcome back.
Good morning again.
Thank you, my brother. You're there.
Thank you for holding.
Yes. So you were saying that the good are facing gunshots when they leave their house.
Yes, Miss Minette.
And how are they going to fight back?
Yes,
Well,
Miss
you ask,
Minette.
shouldn't they fight back? I say yes.
Yes, Miss Minette.
The how of it. The how of it is what will set us apart. Will set the good apart from the bad, because do you approach it in the same spirit that it is put to you?
First thing we need to do,
yes,
is identify them.
Yes, okay.
What Miss Minette?
Identify them. So
yes.
When you, them meaning who? Now?
The enemy of the people.
The enemy. Okay.
You remember what David do with Goliath?
Yes, but yes, but you know, sometimes the man who is facing you is not the enemy. You know. Sometimes the man who have the gun in his hand is not the enemy.
Why am I to work for the enemy?
Well, sometimes he's a victim too.
Miss Minetti.
I just put that in the mix.
Enemy.
I only put that to you. No, I don't say work. I say he's a victim. Sometimes he's a victim, and I only put it in the mix because I want us to discuss how you fight back. And you say first you gotta identify them, and we want to do more than just go for the obvious and think that the person standing in front of you is the true enemy. I know you understand what I mean.
Who sent him? Him himself becomes enemy too.
So now you're talking about interrogating the man in front of you. So first, once you're gonna interrogate him, it means you don't return fire with fire, because if you return fire with fire, you would have closed off the opportunity to discover who sent him.
Who's the man behind the man?
That's right. That's right, Miss Trinity. That's what we need to do.
Yeah.
We have ourselves as good. The people in Jamaica, we have themselves as good people.
Yes, and I believe that. When I think about Jamaicans, I don't think about them as violence producers or
yes.
My first
as good people.
Yeah, my first thought is about the good people. Really.
Yes. So me I say, when we identify the people we are against us.
Yeah. Yeah.
We are to fight back.
Yes, we are.
And if we identify that the PNP and the GLP is against us, we have to demonstrate against them.
So now you're at the how?
How do we do that?
Yeah, we the people, we need to get together and demonstrate against this system, this crown system which can't help us. Them enjoy slaving us, you know. You know them enjoy slaving us? We work around here 500 days and we don't get the pay, you know. And we don't get the land, you know. And the Chinaman come here one day and him get land already, you know. For him to look over work, him get land, you know.
What form of demonstration do you think would have the most impact?
On the person. That's about to answer that question. What are you thinking?
The 14th parish. Stop work for these people.
So this
the longer you work for them, the more problem we have, you know.
We're talking about we're talking about temporary work stoppage like a strike, or withdraw and do your own thing.
Withdraw from them. Because they're not interested and not good with it.
Okay.
A prison here, them talk about them have a bill.
Mm-hmm.
How much are we more if we go into the trench?
Yeah.
And I buy some more land up where you made a rest. Look at the land up there, foot up, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So don't have wide neck, you know.
Yeah.
And then our look at money where we are work, we have to use to bury our family, you know.
Okay.
And you know how much burial cost, you know.
Significant, yeah.
You see me I talk about my brethren?
Yeah, man, we understand. So what you're...
So we can't...
Go ahead, finish.
We don't supposed to sit down no longer.
It's time for action.
Of these people, the PNP and the GLP are killed like fly.
And you know...
Like the pastor they know.
Yes.
Him get caught up in the thing.
Is that
what they tell you about it?
Oh, you mean he's died as a victim of crime and violence?
Yes, Miss Nettie.
Okay, I'm making sure what you mean by get caught up about the thing. And you asked, what's the church going to do about it?
Yes, Miss Nettie.
Interesting. I can't say what the church, because church is a bigger body, but I know what I'm doing on my behalf in terms of speaking against it, and we're reaching out to the church community there and see what it is we can do to help them. in terms of dealing with the trauma and the loss, and then the action against crime and violence within our community, because that's where we have to do. I believe you change man mind, change man heart, you get a change. But the thing that you're talking about as we close off this morning, African, is the whole thing of people recognizing that the change begins with us as people in terms of the things that we need to do. And it begins with a change of mind. All right, African, thanks. Bless you.
Reverend,
Yes, sir.
I see the change coming here.
All right, me see too. Me see too.
Play the music there.
All right, then.
All right. That's our last call for the morning. Thank you so much. Yes. All right. The last two phone calls, and last three maybe I include Wayne's own in it. I think it is a nice foundation
Very
for the rest of
excellent
us to move
theme
into
to
the
move
day.
into. Yeah.
From Wayne's phone call, I was just shown a vision of all of us in a stream, flowing, moving, not even being able to see what is happening in other parts of the stream because we're moving. And as it moves, the picture changes. Therefore, we're talking about it, but it's really history. We're talking about. Still, the stream has mass, directionality, and impact. So even as we are discussing what we'd like to see and so on, things are shaping and happening. We are seeking to just bring some unity by speaking into the ear of those who are listening as they move and bringing a oneness to how we address certain things. I know that it is blessed. The work is blessed and it is having the impact. This is coming out of the conversation with Wayne. And then the other caller spoke about, time and season and
purpose and time come.
And the unity that is necessary so that the stream can move in a or rather so that we can be in alignment with where the stream is going, because the stream is doing something. And this last call, I always appreciate the conversations with African, because it is true that a man, you drive him, not even did I drive out in a reverse. So he wasn't even facing the attack. He reversed into an attack and succumbed. When you say when he asked what is the church to do, I know you were a little more conservative in your response than I would myself be. When you're under attack, there is one response: you fight.
You mean offense?
When you're under attack,
you go under offensive.
You fight. And we know what the weapons of the church are. Those are clear. We use our weapons. And we're going to draw a sword. Rusty would like that one. You have to.
No, but you have to, because the weapons, what you need to do, go against the strongholds. But it will also result in some things that you do physical manifestations.
Yes.
So it's both things.
Let me tell you, when I hear, I don't want to hear, we're going to pray and we're going to, the acts that you need to pursue in the natural, in alignment with your prayer and your intercessory work, critical for the thing to happen, because we're always praying. Always praying.
But if
you want that shift,
you have to shift the type of prayers that you do in terms of that. But what I'm saying is, he asked me the question, and I can't just respond like that. We know things that we are doing. Some of the times you can't speak the things yet because you're planning.
You could say that war has been declared. We're in war mode. Have to be. And you know what? When a policeman is killed, the police get in their war mode. If you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man.
When your family is under attack, you know what you do to protect and to, clear, hold, and build.
That's what African Art Society, clear, hold.
Aye.
It's how you deal with insurgents.
Yeah. You know what you gotta do to clear the field of what's unacceptable. And in some, as you know, we worship and serve a God who takes the sow's ear to make the silk purse, who take lemons and give you lemonade, who take the bad things that happen and out of it produce a miracle.
turn it around.
Yes, and I don't believe that man has died in vain, and we should not let it be that he died in vain. Whatever must come out should come out. You know, I said those in Revelation, those who go and die by the sword will die by the sword. Famine and plague, so it shall be. In other words, destiny will be fulfilled in these moments. Jamaica is calling out for the fulfillment of
the innocent blood is crying out. Yeah, it's too much. And then, so now, what has happened, you know? Remember it happened in Trelawney with that pastor, the lady, with Pastor Rotty, and they go in the church and do that. They don't touch us. But now, it's against us. And now, as you have said, it's time to fight. And we're not running away from the fight. And we're going to have to be fighting on different fronts in terms of overcoming the evil that is in the land.
Well, thank you all online, on air, and in studio. Thank you very much. Tomorrow is our last show before the holidays. I've been plaguing the producer with every type of question on what we should do, how we should do it.
I'm going to eat food tomorrow.
Yes, excellent. That's a good start. But we'll see you tomorrow, Ligani Club, God willing. Please have a good day.